Hello and welcome to the Telstra Dome for the AFL's NAB Cup quarter-final between the Kangaroos and Fremantle. A home semi-final up for grabs to the winner of this one. It'll be against Carlton next Saturday night. A beautiful afternoon for football here at the Dome. The roof is open, the sun is shining, and we're expecting a pretty good contest. Welcome to you, Tony Shaw. We are expecting a good one.
Well, Dwayne, two different reasons for both these sides. The Kangaroos finished a bad 14th last year, and they want to fix that up, I would think. But the Fremantle Dockers, preliminary finalists last year, they just want to keep that winning momentum going.
Kangaroos have picked a strong unit. They've got a good team in. Only a couple of their regulars out, David Hale and Brady Rawlings, but apart from that, they're all in.
Well, they are, and both sides have got very senior lists. Glenn Archer comes in also on the half-back flank there, we can see. Look, they really want to make sure that they keep the winning up. They need good membership, a membership drive, and to improve that area.
Their coach, Dean Laidley, is downstairs with Rowan Smith.
Dean, good start to the season 2007.
Yeah, look, it was a good year out last week, but look, today's going to be a pretty big test. You know, Fremantle are up and running, and you know we've done a fair bit of work over the pre-season. So look, it's going to be a good indication of where we are for round one today.
Lindsay Thomas showed really good signs last week.
Yeah, look, he did. You know, look, he certainly added a bit of pace to our front half, as did Matt Campbell. We've brought in Jaron Wyman today to add a bit more to it. So you know, we think it's pretty exciting to have guys like that, you know, coming into the side.
And Glenn Archer back today. Happy with him having a return?
Oh yeah, look, he'll probably play, about half a quarter each quarter, and he's a little bit behind in his conditioning, but we want to use these next few games to get him up and going. So look, he's like a kid playing his first game. That's how Glenn is.
Dean, good luck today.
Thanks, guys.
Gee, a tough task for Lindsay Thomas. He hasn't played a senior game yet.
Oh, no, but he kicked 4 goals last week, 1 in every quarter. You can see there he just needs a good couple of pre-seasons in the gym. He's got the ability, he just needs a bit of body strength.
Hamish McIntosh is another interesting player they've got in their lineup. They've been patient with him, as we said. First round draft picked 9 back in 2002. Last year was his coming of age.
Oh, look, he was fantastic. And I'd like to see him push forward. We know he can do the ruck work in the centre bounce and around the ground he's agile, but he needs to push forward and become a multiple goal kicker.
Fremantle also want to win this competition. They've also named a very, very strong lineup. They have got a couple of big names out. McManus, Troy Cook, Shammer, Heath Black, Shane Parker and Chris Tarrant, a bloke by the name of Tarrant, not in their lineup either, but they're going in as the favourites this afternoon.
Well, it shows their depth, doesn't it, Dwayne? And you look at Dean Solomon in the back pocket, he's been picked there. He has played in the practice matches up forward, so I would think that Dean Solomon might go to the forward line to add some toughness.
We mentioned perfect conditions down at boundary level. Is Rowan Smith.
Thanks very much, Dwayne. Perfect conditions down here, as you said. Roof is open, sun is shining, not too hot for the players today. Just perfect conditions, ready for a great game.
And Liam, the Kangaroos have had a pretty hard pre-season. Matter of fact, they started training 2 weeks after the grand final last year.
Well, they're probably the fittest team in the competition right at this very minute, Tony. And they'll need to be against a side that I think will actually be in the top 4 this year. They're certainly going to be around the mark, Fremantle, so they'll need to be on their best today.
Thanks, boys. Liam Pickering will be joining us upstairs here. We can't wait for the bounce of the ball. We'll see you after the break. The last of the quarterfinals in the AFL's NAB Cup, and it's a beautiful afternoon for football here at the Telstra Dome. The roof is open and we're expecting a fine evening for football. Winner of this match gets a home semi-final. It'll be against Carlton next Saturday night. It'll be at Subiaco if Fremantle wins this one. It'll be at Carrara on the Gold Coast if the Kangaroos win. They have elected to play their home semi-final up there, but they've got to get through this afternoon's game first.
Well, Fremantle, gee, they had a fantastic year last year, and I think the momentum, they've got a very senior squad. And I really think that at the moment they just want to keep winning to make sure they go into the season proper with that winning feeling, Dwayne. The Kangaroos, look, they need everything going for them at the moment. Off field, as I said, they need to be competitive to make sure that their members, they get greater membership numbers. Not a lot here at the ground at the moment, but they still probably still coming in. But gee, they're a competitive side, and last year was embarrassing for the Kangaroos as a football club because they live on that shin bone of tradition. Maybe so they should get away from that a little bit, but that competitive spirit, they need to get that back into this competition.
Toss of the coin, the two captains, Matthew Pavlich and Adam Simpson. Matthew Pavlich wins, and they'll be kicking right of screen in the opening term, the Fremantle Dockers, but it doesn't really matter here, even though the roof is open there. There's no wind to speak of, so it won't favour either end.
And I tell you what, it doesn't look like we've got a drought in Melbourne with the look of the ground. The ground is in magnificent condition. Matthew Pavlich, again, one of the marquee players of the AFL. I just wonder, Dwayne, he's going to play forward a lot, but with Chris Tarrant into the side, can both of them maybe have stints at ruck roving? Because we know that Pavlich did it early in his career. You like to keep him in the lot, but gee, it's a great flexibility that Chris Connolly's got at hand.
It might make it tough for Chris Tarrant to get in. Shane Parker also one of their key backmen yet to come into this lineup. They've also got a couple of others out, McManus, Cook, Shammer and Heath Black. The Kangaroos without David Hale and Brady Rawlings, a late withdrawal. He was in the squad for this afternoon's game but not playing this afternoon.
Now Glenn Archer of course is making his comeback, as I say, pre-season comeback in the NAB, and there he is right there. He's got his socks down. Don't know whether that's a good sign or not from a veteran already, and the game hasn't started, but it'd be great to see, just to see how his body gets through the game, because the game is getting quicker as we go year by year.
Been a sensational player, Glenn Archer, arguably the greatest ever Roo, although fans of Wayne Carey might argue with that. And he will pass, Glenn Archer will pass Anthony Stevens and Keith Gregg and Wayne Schumerbush on the game's record list at the Kangaroos this year, about round 18 if he gets through injury-free. Glenn Archer to be the greatest Kangaroo Games player of all time. We're about to get underway. Michael Vozzo, Stefan Grun, Greg Bandy and Gary Feeler, the umpires for this afternoon's quarter-final, and Sandilands wins the first knockdown to Hazelby. Farmer, Archer, the man we were speaking of, gets his first touch. And he got the cheers as well. Dodd is out there on the outer side with Jaron Wyman. First gamer for the Kangaroos. There he is this afternoon. He's not young, 24 years of age is Wyman from Echuca and Bendigo. Was on the Hawthorn rookie list in 2002. And now he gets his first taste of senior action. Solomon, speaking of first taste, got his first taste with the Dockers last week to Bell. Hazelby inside 50, so it won't be a super goal, and it's well wide, only a behind.
Dean Solomon looks like playing in the midfield. Hasn't had a role like that for a long period of time. It'd be interesting to see how his stamina holds up.
Adam Simpson to Hamish McIntosh. Petrie, Solomon, good tackler. Couldn't quite bring him down. They get out of it. Pratt. Wideish ball, and getting back and taking the mark is Mundy. Dockers the favourites to win this competition. The NAB Cup now. Sandilands. Dodd. Now Walker. Good game last week. Long inside 50. Ferrito with the punch. Tough job on Pavlich. First to pounce. Can't keep it alive. Will get a ball in.
Gee, Michael Ferrito, you're talking about flexibility. He can tag on ball, and now he's gone back to play on Matty Pavlich as a defender. Sandilands just stands out at these ruck set up. He's throwing his hands around saying, you stand there, I'm going to get it to you. And there it is.
He manhandled his opponent, Hamish McIntosh. Umpire said it was okay. Matthew Carr going nowhere, ball up.
Well, you can push to the side, but of course we've got the new hands in the back rule, or hands on the back rule.
Yeah.
But that was in the side, so you can get away with that.
Sandilands from over the top. Pulled it out of the air towards Farmer. Wells knocked it down. Hazelby. Sandilands. Farmer trying to create something. Can't. Archer again. Kick not so good. Tough ball. Here's the player who turned it on last week, Lindsay Thomas. Caught this time, couldn't break free. Gilmore. Couldn't find a handball target. Swallow through Petrie's legs. Caught at half-back. Solomon. Again, sensational tackler. And Jones the free. They get out of it. Kangaroos, Corey Jones at half-back. Chips it wide. Jaron Wyman. Second feel of the ball in his first game. Leroy Brown. And now Gibson to Thompson.
Well done.
It won't be a super goal. He marked it on the paint with the 15-metre arc.
Go back, Nathan. You can kick the distance from there.
He just pokes it toward Lee Brown at the top of the square. Had a lot of it. Not enough of it, according to the umpire. Crowley. What about rushing it behind? Mundy keeps it alive. Good option. Solomon. Unlucky not to be paid the mark there, Shorey.
No mark.
Okay. Gilmore. I'm going with you then. Gilmore wide. Pavlich. This will be a good battle here in Ferrito. Too far out to score. Not a massive crowd in here at the Dome.
Bell's free.
And he goes to Bell. Put him under pressure. Petrie was there. Watts' handball was smothered. Get out of it. Sainsbury to Sinclair. Ex-Docker. Spears it to the midfield. Nice mark by Wyman. Third touch, so he's getting a fair bit of it in his first game.
Good chase, Jeff Farmer.
It was a good chase. Forced the kick a little wide. Michael Johnson couldn't do something with it, but tying it up might be just as good as anything.
Sure, that's an area of Jeff Farmer's game that really needs to improve, is his defensive pressure.
Lindsay Thomas couldn't find a target with his kick. Bad one from Grover. Turned it over. Wyman. Brown. Had to dish it out to Wells. Forced to tackle Crowley. Dodd. Good pressure early in this game. Grover. Gang tackled. Brought down. Got it out. Umpire thought about putting the whistle to the mouth there. Lee Brown to Archer. Centering ball. Crack. And he had enough of it. This will be a super goal. Plays on. Chips the pass. Thompson.
They have come to play, haven't they? Both sides. Daniel Wells, you talked about Jeff Farmer there, Liam, but Daniel Wells is another person. He looks bigger this year. You can see it. He's done a few pre-seasons now, and you can see the tackling there. They want to go to the semi-final level.
It's actually a really good option by Daniel Pratt too. He could have blazed away from outside 50. Would have been out of his range. Thompson on the lead's a good spot up.
He's a 61% goal kicker. It's not up there with the very best, but is improving with each kick. The opener of the Roos.
Well, just isn't it great to see a full forward? We don't see a lot because of numbers back in the forward 50, but a full forward on a full lead out in front takes the mark outstretched. That's what we need in our modern game, and this man does it as well as anybody, and normally he's a great converter. Nathan Thompson, been through a lot off field, but he is a very important player to this group.
Kicked 54 goals, 40 last year, Nathan Thompson. Only the one goal last week in that Kangaroos victory over Collingwood. He started well this afternoon. Hazelby give it up to Mundy. They've missed the target. Watt. Thompson the target again. Strong hands.
Wonderful mark by Nathan Thompson. Just used his body.
Oh, could it be a 50-metre off the ball? What has happened here is that Roger Hayden has pushed his opponent over. Now, I think it's a little bit soft behind the... This was behind the mark. And the umpire said you don't have to do that. And he's giving a 50-metre penalty for a push 10 metres behind the mark, and Thompson makes him pay.
Perfect start for the Kangaroos. Thompson's got two in a minute.
Nathan Thompson's a player that you think the new rules, the pushing in the back rule, will really suit.
No doubt.
He's such a strong presence and he really leads well.
Here's a replay. Look at that. Oh, is that worth 50 metres? I think the umpire, Lindsay Thomas, went down. But you keep getting away from that stuff, Liam, don't you? And the umpire, I think he might have got sucked in on that occasion.
Well, he should have known a bit better. You're dead right there. He's been around the game a while, Roger Hayden. That was just a little bit silly.
Twelve plays one to open this quarter-final. Rowan Smith at boundary level.
Yeah, guys, just an interesting matchup down here at ground level. Archer on Solomon, two hard men of the AFL. Solomon playing up high, and Archer is letting him go, playing across half-back.
It will be one to watch. Two hard men going in there, and Peter Bell coming up with the free. Ex-Kangaroo, premiership player, of course, with the Roos. Pavlich. Superb mark. Ferrito argues that he got a touch, but He is one of the superstars of the competition, Matthew Pavlich.
I think we saw another forward who might like this new rule too, Liam. But on that occasion, well, in the end, it should have nearly been a free kick, but he pushed him in the shoulder, not his back, so he got away with that.
He's such a hard matchup, Matthew Pavlich, because not only is he aerobically very good, but he's also one-on-one very strong. So whereas Frito can probably go with him on the run, not going to really be able to go with him in the air, I wouldn't think.
He kicked a super goal and 2 regulation goals last week, Matthew Pavlich. He is the Fremantle Dockers goals record holder. And he sprays this one. He's kicking also at about 61% for his career. The very best, like Lockett and Lloyd, up with around the 70% mark.
Been well known too, the Kangaroos want to kick more goals this year, Dwayne. They want to be a lot more offensive than a defensive side, so they are playing on quick, and that's the new, not the new rule, the one from out, when you kick a goal you can play on at any time, and it might just suit them this year.
Hamish McIntosh, 5th season on the list for him, picked 9 back in 2002. This is Swallow, kick half smothered, and Matthew Carr takes it out. Andrew Swallow, former West Australian, All-Australian captain at under 18 level.
When I say it might suit him this year, I think the philosophy of being more attacking, Liam, means that kicking rule, you want to get it in quick to get flowing.
Well, they've got the players, they've just got to use the likes of Daniel Wellsmore.
Sandlin strengthen the ruck. Jones, Grant, Sainsbury, Sinclair. Lee Brown the option, a little too wide for him. Johnson. It's away from Brown. Good evasive skills. Matthew Carr. A bit too wide for Crowley, and we'll get a ball in on the wing. Tempo's just dropped a little in the last couple of minutes.
First interchanges already. Headland off, Hazelby off.
Quarters in the NAB Cup, 17.5 minutes plus time on, so shorter quarters. Sandlands with a big slap down. Harvey. Pick up on the second attempt. Sainsbury.
They've got Petrie in the middle here.
He spotted him just as you did, Liam. And he takes off. Thompson's on the lead in his direction. He's got a one-on-one, can't grab it. Grover, boundary line is sanctuary if he wants to. Disguised it well.
I don't know whether that was a throw or it was a slip, but in the end it was a good result for Fremantle.
Already the peripheral Fremantle defenders should be saying they are going to Nathan Thompson all the time. Just play off and help your full back.
Ball back in the danger zone because the boundary umpires come in 10 metres for the ball in the NAB Cup. Jones can't capitalise. A behind from Corey Jones, who did kick a couple of goals and a super goal last week.
Really improved player, Corey Jones. He's taken his game to another level in the last 12 months. Become a real crucial part of that North Melbourne forward line.
Well, they respect him so much now they allowed him to captain the team in Adam Simpson's absence late last year. Sandlands almost caught by Brown. She put Duffield under pressure, but he was good enough to get out of it. Chip kick from Johnson is good. And back to Duffield. They have worked that magnificently, except it's just scraped in. Duffield thought he'd missed for a second, but a perfect 1-2, and the Dockers are on the board.
Well, they did work that brilliantly, didn't they? They got Sandilands in the middle of the ground and a number of handballs, short chip kicks. They just share the ball so well. You want to keep running. You want to keep running in this side because you know they will give you the opportunity to get possession. And he's been a very good player, Duffield. Played a fair bit of good football in the back half last year.
He'll be happy with that, Paul Duffield. It's the first goal he's ever kicked for the Dockers. 7 home and away games without a goal to his name. It's not a bad way to start it. Peter Bell, not a long kick of the ball. He could have gone the super goal, but he knew he couldn't get the rain, so Pavlich the best option.
Well, he's a star, Matthew Pavlich. Put it one-on-one and empty out the forward line. You leave Matthew Pavlich one out with Michael Frito. It would be a real handful for the Kangaroos. Just a bit big, really. And that was a wonderful mark, just with the one hand.
Well, they've got options. Petrie, I wouldn't think, would be able to go with him with speed. You've got Leroy Brown up the other end who could go back there. So, yeah, a number of options. But Frito, if you leave him one-on-one with the way that came in the forward line, no one could stop that.
Well, it's been all the Kangaroos to start, but suddenly the Dockers can take the lead. Pavlich has got it. They're in front.
Well, Liam, he's going to be a handful, but again, I say the speed. How do you like that? When you hit the ball 35, that's like a short kick, and your captain knows that you're going to hit the ball that way, or Peter Bell knows you're going to run into that space.
Well, in the centre square, there's always a sweeper, which the Kangaroo player got sucked into the contest. When you've got a man 7 foot tall, you've got to make sure that your sweeper stays at home. Otherwise, exactly what can happen there, that opened right up.
Dockers in front. They started this game as the favourites. They're favourites to win the NAB Cup. They'll get a home semi-final next week if they win this afternoon. Harris quickly to Simpson. Riggio. Lee Brown was held, and the umpire won't allow play on. It's not advantage. And Lee Brown, ex-Docker, will go back and have a shot to give the Roos back the lead.
I think it was Michael Johnson on that occasion playing on Lee Brown. And that's just holding the arm, no doubt about the free kick. Great replay there. Tried to go one-handed Lee, but makes it hard when you're getting up one hand held.
Traded for pick 13, which the Dockers used to get Byron Shammer. Terrible kick.
That might be wide.
Sandlands getting back, takes the mark with Thompson. Duffield. And now Josh Carr.
Whoa.
Got the call to play on. Confused him and I. And is it a free kick? No.
I don't think it was 20, Dwayne.
Okay. So Peter Bell. Dockers will get out of it. Lachlan Hansen thought it was play on, and he was the one that gave the kick away. Thompson, that was a tough ball. It's in the direction of Luke McFarlane, but Thompson cut it off. Wants to find a handball option. Spears the pass. Perfect pass. Matt Campbell turned it on last week. Turns it on early here.
Sure, you talk about defensive pressure, and Nathan Thompson, no better example then. Nearly hit him on the back of the head, but it was a great effort. The switch from Peter Bell was always going to be risky because he had to kick it 55 metres, which is probably at his best level anyway. I don't think he kicked the ball that far, but it was a risky kick, but not a lot of options. But in the end, great work by Thompson, a good finish by Campbell.
And the two key forwards are having an impact on the game very early.
Kicked 2 goals last week. Matt Campbell is still on the rookie list, hasn't played a senior game, and he could be a candidate to fill that senior list spot left vacant by Jonathan Hay. Duffield. Play on the call, you heard it. Murphy got the handball up just in time. High kick by Drum. Pavlich. Pratt. Now, is that a rush behind worth 3 points? No.
It's a spoil.
He would have been stiff.
Well, he did thump it through deliberately, didn't he?
Yeah, but if it went out of bounds, you're going to give it deliberate out of bounds?
From the kick in, Moran. He was the leaper. Depends on what your intention is, gentlemen. Josh Carr, Drum, Peake, Moran with him. Peake gets the kick away, but it's not good. Harvey, Petrie, smothered, dumped. Drum, Duffield, Farmer. He had a look just to see where he should go. Central is where he should go. Straight to Peter Bell. And he's just within range, Peter Bell.
Oh, you think that's about it? 30 metres will see Belly out.
Well, I don't know if his local footy club's banking on him kicking a super goal in this competition to get him $1,000 to his junior club.
Their hands are very quick. They are sharp, Fremantle, and Jeff Farmer. You're right, Dwayne. The distance might saw him out. Jeff Farmer, he's an amazing player, isn't he, Liam? You know, he can lose the plot at times, but gee, if he's on, he can win you big games and big finals.
Oh, he certainly can. Just his awareness then, as a really smart player would, squared it up to his captain.
Riggio made it tough for Gibson.
Former captain, I should say.
Finds Harris.
I made that mistake earlier too.
That is risky.
Central ball to Lachlan Hansen. He was never going to get there. Duffield did. It's got Mundy. Just over his head, Petrie. And go again. Almost stolen by Farmer. Watt. And now Thomas. Not a lot to go to. Sees Lee Brown in his direction. Got a hand to it. Kept it alive. Grover.
Good tackle.
Magnificent tackle by Lee Brown. Not only wrapped him up, but just pushed him into the turf. Which is beautiful and soft here at the Dome at the moment.
Well, the ball had come free and he slung him. It would have been a free kick against him.
Grant to Hansen, kick smothered. Little slap to Jones was good from Simpson. Still a chance here. Wells saw Petrie, lines them up. Great run down, smothered by Brown. Andrew Brown, a star last week. Hasn't played senior football for the Dockers for 2 years. Been on their list 6 seasons. He turned it on last week. Wide ball, it's good from Carr. And Pavlich marked it on the paint, so it won't be a super goal.
I'm just wondering whether this was a real home and away game. You would make a change straight away, because he's struggling to keep up with him, Michael Frito.
Well, it's his biggest nightmare is the fact that the ball comes in quickly on a turnover and he's one out.
Sideways.
He had no hope, or he's got no help from his teammates there because they couldn't get back in time.
Inside 5 minutes to quarter time. And this kick to give the Dockers back the lead. Starts at left and leaves it there. Behind.
Problem is, Lee Brown he's a danger up for the other end, so you wouldn't think about moving Lee Brown. As I said, they might make it in NAB Cup, they might not think about it and just say, all right, let's see it out and see what happens after a couple of quarters.
Pratt to Gibson, good commitment from Gibson and Solomon, and it's a free kick against Solomon.
Now, what could he do there? It shows great courage, Gibson, no doubt about it, but what can the man marking the ball do? He tried to tap it forward. I think that was accidental.
Well,
who ran
into who then?
That's right.
And Solomon had a right to do exactly what he did.
No doubt.
So the long kick to half forward, close to the boundary line. Hansen, wearing Sav Rocker's old number 26, Lachlan Hansen, yet to play a senior game, of course. First game in the Roos jumper last week, sees it out of play.
Now here it is, Dean Solomon. Matter of fact, he punches the ball forward. I think that is incidental contact, and you have to keep playing on.
So the head sacrosanct at the moment, but they're maybe overdoing it a little. Mundy, and now Moran takes the mark. Speaking of old numbers, in Wayne Carey's old number 18. Central ball, Pratt. Riggio, good game last week. Nathan Thompson will try and get there. Flies. Lemieux will put the spoil on. Jones. Boundary line.
Clever little player, Lindsay Thomas.
Is he what?
He could have tried to grab the ball and just tapped it over. Actually, a very clever play for a player that is yet to play an AFL game as such.
All about to be put back in the hot spot. Umpire coming in 10 metres. Knocked down towards Wells. Caught almost before he had it. Harris shrugs the tackle, sizes them up, kicks across the face, only behind. Down on the boundary line, Rowan Smith.
Yeah, guys, I think Fremantle are really worried about North Melbourne's forward line, so they're dropping someone back in the hole all the time in front of Thompson and Brown.
They've got some tall targets down there. They've got young Hansen down there, Brown, Thompson, as well as Wells at their feet and Thomas, so they've got a pretty good mix there at the minute.
Carr to Mundy, back to Josh Carr. They want to turn it over. That was 20, but he didn't mark it. So it is play on.
And a free kick against Duffield at this level. Just a mistake you could not make in the forward 50. He's a youngster, and I don't know whether he thought I was going to play on straight away and took his eye off the ball. It could have even been the sun there, but they're mistakes that really hurt you.
Elevated to the senior list last year, Paul Duffield, after 3 seasons on the rookie list. And this young lad trying to make his name as well. Lindsay Thomas, 4 goals last week, 1 in each quarter. In his first game in a Roos jumper. Picked 53 in last year's draft from Port Adelaide's SANFL Magpies. And he has hit the post. It's play on. And Lemieux comes away with it. Grover, Mundy, caught. Tough ball. And they get away with it. Walker, Hazelby, Solomon. Pavlich was held, wanted to go for the lead. Umpire didn't see the hold. Good toe poke for Rito. Archer. Adam Simpson.
Hansen's on.
And he's got it. And he can go back and have a shot, Lachlan Hansen. You're just not too sure whether there's just distance in that jumper, the big number 26. Hopefully he can go back and slot this one.
Well, you just can't buy the experience and the hardness of Glenn Archer, and the uncontested ball all of a sudden becomes a contested ball, and Glenn Archer's there. You'd be backing him 9 times out of 10. That's the reason they're having a shot at goal, because the Glen Archer's playing the wing.
They have taken the jumper in a bit at the side since they've watered as well. And he's missed to the near side. That was a terrible kick, but maybe he's a little nervous. Pick number 3 in the draft last year.
Now look at this for young kids at home. Glen Archer gives the handball, but after it he follows up and he points. You can see his finger in the square there, in the monitor, and he's saying, look, there's the man upfield. So you don't just give the handball, you communicate to your teammate where to kick the ball at times. That's experience.
Hayden got it from McFarlane. Inside 90 seconds to quarter time. We've got a good opening term. Both teams have shared the lead. Longmuir into that sun as well. I think you're right, guys. There is a bit of sun causing some problems there. Grover short. Hazelby. And wide for the sun
it
again.
is sun, no doubt.
No doubt whatsoever. Dodd to Drum. Play on advantage. Mundy. And then he thought about taking off with it. And the umpire said, no, it's not advantage anymore.
He gave him 4 goes at it.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's not your fault that he holds the ball up and tries to feint the kick. Yeah, it was the sun. You can see the shadow go across his eye.
Well, Dodd would be happy because he gets the long kick towards Sandilands. Had the reach, held it long enough.
That's what you've got to do. We've seen his ability around the ground, Liam. We said it in the pre-match. He has to get forward. When he rests, you cannot stop a man at this height.
There's not too many ruckmen of the real natural forwards outside of Peter
That's
Everett,
right.
but he is one person that would be an enormous matchup, the size of him alone, and he's quite mobile.
Well, no one really wanted him as a kid. He missed 2 years of footy as a teenager because he had back problems. He was growing so fast. Most clubs wouldn't touch him. Fremantle gave him the chance on the rookie list. Just has to improve his kicking a little, and then he'll be the perfect player.
No, but look, let's go back. Forget about the kick. It's a long way down to drop that ball for him, you know. A lot longer than anybody in the league.
Well, you can change your mind twice on the way down.
He does have to get his boots specially made.
But Liam, the thing about a resting ruckman, and we don't, like you say, we don't see it very often, a man of that size, he has to be a danger and helps the crumb off him.
Dangerous ball for Archer. Got a hand to it. Harris. Gibson. Now the chip kick wide, and Hansen he can't keep it alive. We'll get a ball in. Big raps on Lachlan Hansen. He said pick 3 in last year's draft, so very high pick. And he's looked okay so far in his 2 games. Back into play. Time enough maybe for a quick takeaway and a score for either team on this wing. Clock will stop, and maybe only time perhaps for a Kangaroo takeaway and a mark up forward. 5 seconds left. Carr. And that'll just about do us. It's been a good opening term here at the Telstra Dome, played in bright sunshine. The winner of this quarter-final in the AFL's NAB Cup gets a home semi-final next week against Carlton. It'll be next Saturday night at Subiaco if the Dockers win, or at Carrara on the Gold Coast if the Kangaroos get up. The other semi-final, of course, between Geelong and Brisbane will be played here at the Dome next Friday night. But the Kangaroos lead 21-18, and they look the goods in the opening term. Time here at the Telstra Dome. What a contrast. Beautiful bright blue skies here after the downpours last night in Darwin for the quarter-final between Port Adelaide and Geelong. It's the Kangaroos who lead 21-18. The winner of this one gets a home semi-final against Carlton next week. And gentlemen, the leading disposal getters for both teams have been spread across the field. There's no one really dominating the whole game. It's been probably 7 or 8 players from both teams getting enough of it.
Well, it's just about key forwards. Which one of the key forwards might go out of the game? Nathan Thompson was brilliant early and Matthew Pavlich at the other end. And we look at the scoreboard, you had 8 shots to 6, but I think in general play, I thought, Liam, the Kangaroos had more of the ball.
Well, they played pretty well in that first quarter, the Kangaroos. I think Dean Laidley would be very happy with their defensive pressure, especially in the forward line. When the ball hit the deck, all their players, whether it be Lindsay Thomas, their younger players, or even the big blokes, all at least put pressure on.
Down on the boundary line, Rowan Smith.
Thanks very much, Dwayne. Coach Dean Laidley just wrapped Glenn Archer up. It's his first hit out, and he said just takes a little bit of inspiration from him. He said that the pressure was really good. They wanted to reel and go all the time, get the ball in quickly. For Freo, Chris Connolly wanted the boys to run the ball out of their back line a little bit quicker, and obviously get it into Pavlich, who is dominating down there in the forward line.
Thanks, Rowan. And there is Dennis Pagan, coach of the Blues, having a look. The Blues, as we said, will play the winner of this one in the NAB Cup semi-final next week. He looks relaxed.
Well, you've had a win. That's the only time you enjoy coaching is when you have a win.
When is it relaxing for a coach, Shorey?
Off-season, when you know you've got 8 weeks off straight after the season. When you win a premiership, that's relaxing. And every time you have a win, you know you've got 1 day to yourself.
I don't think Dennis Pagan had an off-season this year. I think he was under the pump the whole summer. But he lives to fight another season. Second term about to get underway. Sandlin's in the ruck against McIntosh. Straight down to Simpson. And Hayden takes a strong grab.
That time the sweeper was there.
Yeah, Simpson. He learned. Never got sucked to the play that time. Sandy lands out here by himself.
Peake sees him. Hits him.
He's having a bit of a snooze in Hamish McIntosh.
Sandlands goes toward Matt Carr, and good spoil in front of Matthew Carr by Daniel Wells. Will get a ball in.
Brent Harvey there, been a little bit quiet, but goes to Daniel Wells, so well done. I think Matt Carr's trying to push forward to take Daniel Wells with him.
McIntosh, in the absence of David Hale, doing a reasonable job in the ruck. Simpson, the handball up. Wyman can find the target. Walker does. Bell. And wide to Solomon and Archer. What a battle. Free kick this time. Solomon plays onto advantage to full forward. They've got the numbers down there, Gibson.
That's the help that he needs, Michael Ferreto. His players pushing back, give him a chop out.
Jess Sinclair. 50 games for the Dockers. Jess Sinclair. It's in the trade that saw Peter Bell go from the Kangaroos back to Fremantle. McIntosh gets a stat on Sandlands.
Well, you've got to make him pay. If you don't chase him out one side of the ground, go out the other.
Long ball from him. Pack of players fly. Harvey, you said you hadn't seen much of him. Well, there he is. Go to Jones. Back to Harvey. Wants to have a shot. Should have given and gives it late now. Peake. And now they might have 3 players on the rebound. Walker, Bell, Hayden. Play on advantage. Hazelby. Inboard. Brown. Sandlands is free. He looked up, saw him and thought, no, not you. And now Hayden in slow motion. No one coming at him still. It's amazing. Everyone getting back to get their man, but no one wanted to get him. And the short pass to Brown, when no one got Andrew Brown, as we said, kicked a couple of goals last week and was quite impressive.
Was that 20?
Well done.
Murphy knocked down. Could have been in the back, even if it wasn't 20, not paid. Drum on hands and knees, tries to shuffle it out. Can they get out of trouble? Bell dropped it. Crowd knew it. They called for it. Another good tackle. Ball knocked free. No. So the free kick's been paid to Drum.
For a push.
Kicked a super goal last week, Marcus Drum. He's just
Here's the tackle.
outside the arc as we speak. Pokes it, hoping for not finding Murphy. Gilmore. Toe poke by Wells. Now to speed. Sainsbury. And he took it out cleverly. Will get a ball in.
Big year for Eddie Sainsbury. Dwayne, He's a player that's been around the system now 3 or 4 years. He apparently had a very, very big pre-season. We hear that about everybody, but he is exceptional on every one of their time trials and has got himself very fit.
He played just the 7 games last year after playing 20 games back in 2005, so you're right, he needs to turn that around again. Bell kicks toward full forward. He can kick a long ball. Sensational goal, Peter Bell.
Well, it all came from that man, Sandilands, at the ruck contest. And Peter Bell, he's had a fantastic start to this second quarter. There it is, Sandilands. Now, you have to really, Sainsbury had to get on his back in that 50-metre arc. That is too much latitude, and a great snap by Peter Bell. At the moment, Hamish McIntosh and also Sandilands are playing a bit of Russian roulette, and I think Hamish McIntosh needs to tighten up, especially when he goes forward, Sandilands.
Dockers back in front. 24 plays 21. Rowan Smith on the boundary line.
Yeah, just on that matchup with Harvey, James Walker's picked him up. He's obviously had a hard start to the NAB Cup because he had Ben Cousins last week, but he's doing very well today.
Thanks, Rowan. Wells inside to Thomas. Has the snap. Can't roll it through. And it has hit the behind post, so it's out of play.
Yeah, how important are the clearances? I mean, we saw at the other end, the great tap by Sandlins, as Shorey said, and Bell getting on the end of it, and even that centre clearance down. One straight down, Wells one kick, it's into the forward line.
McIntosh caught behind, forced the punch. Brown. Pavlich, will he get there? Archer! Pavlich, he was lurking, but he couldn't make the ground, and Archer took a nice mark.
McIntosh is on.
Sandlands is with him now and has the reach. He was on, but the kick just sat in the air for a while.
I'd send Hamish McIntosh and just say, go and run with him for a while. Just sit on him and try and beat him one-on-one. He was outnumbered that time, but just take him out of the game for 10 minutes.
Peak, as he likes to do, run and bounce. Hazelby got themselves into a bit of trouble. Bell. Sandlands. Peak. Caught.
In the back.
Free.
Well, he can come and follow him to the bench now because Aaron Sandilands is coming to the bench to have a spell. Longmuir on.
So Peak with the free to McFarlane. Hoping for Gilmore. Didn't get there. Brown. Rides one tackle, shrugs the next. Beautiful play. Grover. Inside 50. Up close. Harris couldn't mark. Pavlich almost threw it up. Did throw it up.
Good call, Dwayne.
Well, the umpire's in a perfect position to make that call then.
You might have done well to take up umpiring a bit later in your career, Dwayne.
Oh, you get away with him in Adelaide. Pavlich obviously learnt the trade.
It'll happen forward line here.
Sinclair. Thompson. Straight through his legs. Leroy Brown with some speed back of the pack. And the Kangaroos are back in front.
Leroy Brown, he would have loved that against his old club. And you called it well, Liam. They're the open forward line. Nathan Thompson just below the knees. Not that crash hot there, but it did run into the path of Leroy Brown. And look, I know that Archer played on ball last year, but I think he needs to really solidify their defence. Play across halfback. He can read the play. He's going to help others out. And Leroy Brown going forward, he works pretty hard.
We push from half back for that bit of play.
27 plays 24. It's been a seesawing contest. No super goals yet. And Hamish McIntosh is doing well for the Kangaroos in the ruck. And he's got an opportunity now with Sandland sitting on the bench to have an influence. We'll get another ball up. Sandland's on the bench with Duffield, nearest to us.
Got a chance to get a few possessions.
Exactly.
Brown, caught by Watt. Walker to Gilmore.
Here's his opponent. Longmuir's might be in this marking contest.
Crowley gave the push. Simpson, that's the new rule. A few coaches calling for a conference at the end of this NAB Cup to maybe overrule the new rule. Grant.
Not going to happen, Dwayne. So you just got to get used to it and teach your players the technique. If they keep whinging about it, I think it has a negative impact on the players themselves. It's not going to happen. It's going to be in this 2007 season, so get on with it.
Walker with him Watt out of play.
This is just perfect. umpiring. Well, that's
Yes.
the new rule.
New rule.
In a nutshell, that's it.
He could have clenched his fist and used his forearms, and that's what the umpires are saying. Clench your fist so you're showing us you're not using your hands, but no doubt about the free kick.
Hazelby and Sandilands leading the possession getters. That's how good Aaron Sandilands has been. Josh Carr can't break free. Oh, umpire might have to sort this one out. Players getting a little angry. Bell getting a little bit of leather. Got the handball up. Pavlich. Thump clear of him. Boundary line. Archer. Put his body on the line. Knew he'd get crunched, but he enjoys it.
He does. He enjoys leading with his head. Josh Carr just...
Wasn't a lot in that. Yeah, a little bit of a rib tickler.
Yeah.
Keep him honest. He's pretty tough, then, Harris.
As is Josh Carr. And the ball in. Sainsbury. McIntosh. Simpson. Bell. He's already kicked one.
Oh,
Unselfish. And Murphy's finished it off. Great play from the veteran. Sized it up. Thought he might get smothered. Gave it off. And the Dockers back in front.
Been very good, Peter Bell. Got a bit of work off the ball from Ferrito there as well. Yeah, well, you don't want to turn the ball over in your forward line when you're defensive half, especially with good finishers like Peter Bell. And it was unselfish play, Dwayne. Spot on. He could have run in and easily kicked the goal, but leadership, that's what it's about, isn't it?
I know what I would have done. I know what I would have done. Get your name in the paper, mate. Kick the goal. It's a NAB Cup.
Brian Murphy. A little help from Peter Bell.
Peter Bell's had a great first half. Trying to pick up who's manning him up. He's gone to half forward at the moment. Might be Eddie Sainsbury too.
Extra player in the square for this ball up. So Moran, who's now in the ruck, recipient of the free. Lee Brown and Nathan Thompson up forward. Fists come. Ball carried the pack. Wells, Sinclair, Grant from Super Goal territory. Wells, Sinclair. Headland's got him. Kick away just in time.
Good pressure.
Getting back McFarlane. Been a good contest to watch. Dodd to Josh Carr. Walker, Josh Carr. Still under pressure. Walker sends it long. Archer lurking, floating, marking.
He's in good nick.
Well,
Glenn Archer.
Since last season, he's already announced his retirement. Might have to rethink it. Harris inside 50. Hanson. He was knocked away. And Lee Brown into the back of James Walker.
Well, I thought the Kangaroos' defence was found wanting a number of times, especially the latter part of last season. And Glenn Archer you need that leadership and body strength and courage. Sometimes you don't want him deep, but very important across halfback if they can keep him there.
Duffield to Matthew Carr. He's got Hayden. Travelled 20, so the mark's paid. He's got Duffield, who's run on. The give and go. Josh Carr tucked up against the boundary. Central ball. Moran got hands on it. Drum sharks it and kicks it way wide. Out of bounds on the full. Marcus Drum.
Nephew of Damien Drum,
Of
former
course.
teammate, I would say. Dwayne, was
Of
he?
mine.
Yes.
Former coach of Fremantle, of course, for 2.5 seasons. Let's hope Marcus has a longer career at the Dockers than that. Sainsbury. Bouncing ball. Lachlan Hanson in a good battle with Johnson. Lee Brown.
Been working pretty hard, Lee Brown.
Yeah.
Harris.
Good handball.
The look-away handball. Sinclair. And now Thompson. Hands on it. Off hands. Little dish up is good. Rolling ball from Wells. Hit the post. It's play on. Wells waited. Can he pick it up? He can. Can he snap it?
It's touched.
Still alive. Matt Campbell. He's caught. And we'll get a ball up.
Well,
all that for nothing.
The traditionalists of our game would say we don't want that rule where the ball comes back into play off the post. It should be a behind, but gee, it's exciting when it gets involved with that number of stands of the play.
Exciting and confusing. Started on the bench this afternoon, Brett Peake. It's bigger interchange benches in the NAB Cup. Matthew Carr, dump, and Lee Brown.
He's come to play, Leroy.
He might be in Super Goal territory here. He's just outside 50. Thinks about loading up, goes to the pocket. Wells drops the mark. Well played by Grover. Put enough pressure on without giving the free away. Sinclair tucked up against the boundary. Would have been a miracle. It's a behind.
Hit the post again, but went inside this time.
It's a lovely tackle by Big Brown. He really has. He's been good. He's working hard forward, and he's pushing back as well.
He's emotionally involved in the game. I think he doesn't do that week in, week out.
Dodd got it from Hayden, put Peake under pressure. And now the spare man. Matthew Carr got up from that tackle okay towards Pavlich. Tough ball for him. Ferrito. Pavlich just dropped the ball knowing he was about to be tackled. Umpire said 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It wasn't holding the man or holding the ball. Murphy. Duffield. Caught by the collar.
Goal.
Ferrito. Lee Brown. The crowd getting into it now. Hanson. And now Lindsay Thomas, the live wire from 45. Misses.
Shannon Grant not happy that he didn't handball the ball to him then, but I think he did the right thing in the end, because Shannon Grant, by the time he looked up for the handball, Shannon Grant had his back to the goal, so I think the young fella did the right thing then.
Good mark, Grover.
They're away here, Freo.
Bell. Turned it over to Gibson. And they were away because they had loose men. Chip kick, that's a shocker from Swallow. Straight to Dodd, to Johnson. His kick. Just wobbled a little in the air, made it tough for Hayden. And now Farmer. To Samboos. To the pocket, to Longmuir. Just inside the line.
I think you've got an image problem if you're getting booed in the NAB Cup.
Well, it means that you play well enough for people to dislike you. That's a good thing. Sinclair. Midfield. And the mark by Thomas. Lindsay Thomas. Sainsbury. Thompson's on the move. Can't get there to go with the mark. Good collecto from 50. Won't be a super goal. He was on the line, and Pratt gets there in front of Dodd to mark it.
It's in a U-turn like that for a while since Big John Longmire retired.
Daniel Pratt, his short passed across goal, didn't make the... And still...
Thomas has got 2 to beat Shorey. But he beats them both.
Talking about Big Tomo there, he got it out at half forward. He had the turning circle of the big Queen Mary, but he got around and in the end got it forward. It was good play by Pratt as well, who worked hard. And this little bloke has had a good match, Lindsay Thomas. He's worked great. He got the ball in the middle of the ground just prior to that, and he's pushed forward and kicked the goal.
A good finish too. You know, Daniel Pratt, you've got to hit the target. At least it opened up the goals, but when it didn't, you're under pressure. And he just had the thought process to get through that pressure and score.
He's had great football grounding. Lindsay Thomas is from the Mallee Park Football Club, the all-Indigenous club in Port Lincoln that gave us the Burgoynes and Byron Pickett and Graham Johncock, and Daniel Wells was also there as a kid. Went to finishing school at Port Adelaide's SANFL team, the Magpies, and it looks like he's going to be a star this year, Lindsay Thomas.
Something in the water at Port Lincoln, I would say. And normally white sharks, white pointers.
And not just little boys come from there either. There was a bloke by the name of Greg Phillips who...
He was a big boy.
He was one of the biggest of all time. Duffield caught and dumped.
I think you'd eat one of those players in one sitting, Greg Phillips, at his prime.
Sharks saw him swim the other way. And the ball up. Moran forced to do the ruck against Sandlands at the moment. Wells pokes it wide to Lee Brown. Mundy. Boundary line if he wants it. Didn't want it. Johnson. And that kick did travel 20 according to the umpire, Hazelby.
I think the Fremantle Dockers, Liam, they dominated the first 7 or 8 minutes of this quarter, but no doubt the Kangaroos will work their way back into the game.
Well, they certainly have it. They're building it from half back here, the Kangaroos. They've been very good.
Riggio to Gibson to Watt. Now Wells. Can load up. It's a one-on-one. Nathan Thompson, good fist by McFarlane. Knocks it down, snap around the body. He's perfect. Jaron Wyman, first goal, superstar.
Well, I saw a lot of this young bloke in the VFL over the last couple of years, and He knows where the goals are, Darren Wyman, or Jaron Wyman. Wasn't a great kick by Daniel Wells coming in, but he put his big backside there, Tomo, and got it to the front. And that's where you've got to be if you're a crummer. Just get to the front and centre and finish off your work like that. That's a good goal.
Well, I think they've needed that type of player for a number of years now. Brent Harvey played forward a number of times, was a crumbing player, but then become a great midfielder. So they need that type of player.
Jaron Wyman with a snap goal. As you said, Liam, when he's close to goals, they reckon he is a superstar to watch. Playing his first game, didn't play for the Roos last week against Collingwood. Headland gets the kick away. 30 plays 41. Inside 50 to Petrie. Pratt had to get out of his way. Moran to wait a long time.
Shows a bit, Moran. Through a kick.
Cut off by Crowley. Farmer pokes it to the pocket. Sandlands is down there and he left it for Duffield.
Well, mightn't be a bad thing after Aaron Sandland shot a goal in the first quarter. But, gee, that was a smart kick by Jeff Farmer. The pressure came to him quickly. Could have handballed, but by kicking the ball, it means you have a set shot. They would have had to play on if he did handball. Great awareness.
So Paul Duffield, who started on the bench, already has a goal to his name. Made his debut last year in that siren fiasco game in Launceston. And he gets one back inside 4 minutes to half-time.
Well, you just feel like the Kangaroos have dominated the play, yet the margin's only 5 points. And you just look and you think, well, Fremantle, if they get their act together in the second half, they'll need to improve a bit, because at the moment they're probably not playing at the top of their game, but they're creating opportunities, and when they've gone forward, they've looked dangerous.
Well, Dean Solomon's playing at centre forward, and you said all the attacks for the Kangaroos were starting at half back, and that is the point, because they've got Jeff Farmer, Dean Solomon. It's whether you bring Pavlich up or Longmuir there for a period of time, because at the moment that's where they're falling down.
Inside 4 minutes to half-time. 41 plays 36. Rowan Smith on the boundary.
Just on Daniel Wells, I think with North Melbourne struggling a little bit, he's got to be more of an igniter and use his pace and take them on. I think he's got such explosive pace. He should be able to get around the Fremantle defenders straight away.
You make a reasonable point there, Rowan, because Daniel Wells last year only the one Brownlow vote, even though he was second in the best and fairest. He's a burst player. He plays brilliant quarters and brilliant halves, but he doesn't necessarily play the brilliant four-quarter games that give you Brownlow votes.
Yeah, that's right. And he rests up forward and then he goes into the midfield, but just doesn't use his pace often enough.
So a freak to Crowley. He's got the 50, which would have meant super goal. Farmer's got the fly. Got a front there. Umpire said no. Hayes will be the snap. It's a goal regardless.
Very stiff not to get a free kick. Then I would have thought Jeff Farmer, he got poleaxed by Matt Riggio, and umpire called play on, and another good finish. All of a sudden, within a couple of minutes, 2 quick goals and they're in front.
Well, it's come from their midfield. They've worked their way through that centre-half back line, centre-half forward line now, Fremantle. That's how they got those scores. But it's been from those types of players. Hayes will be out in the centre. Farmer, gee, deserved a free kick on that occasion.
So 2 goals in a row to Fremantle, and they have the lead back in the shadows of half-time. 42 plays 41.
And Dwayne, just Daniel Wells, last year Dean Laley was very happy with his defensive side of his game. Well, I think this bloke's a superstar. You want him getting involved offensively, hell of a lot more, like you said. You know he's going to chase down and tackle a lot of times because he's got that speed. Might be a development stage for him, but gee, you don't want just an offensive player thinking about defence all the time.
Swallowed to Simpson to Grant. Now he can go the super goal here. He runs to the paint, kicks from just outside, loads up. It's perfect. Kangaroos back in front. First super goal of the afternoon.
Not too many better finishers in the business when they're on the run than Shannon Grant. And you can just see he created a little bit of space, had about 30 metres, and it was a wonderful finish from a player that's full of class, been doing it for years. But again, a centre clearance, this time to the Kangaroos, straight away goal.
I'm happy about that both coaches are letting it go on the centre bounces. Not a lot of tagging. They probably don't tag at centre bounces anyway because you've got to cover so much area. But the floaters are doing the problem. They're winning, aren't they? You get the tap out, the floater stays back, kick forward, you're in the attack.
So the first super goal of the afternoon, and $1,000 to Shannon Grant's junior club at Flemington, which is about a Shannon Grant kick from this ground. No one breaking free from the ball up. We'll get a secondary ball up.
I don't know if everybody knows what the terminology of the floater is, but it's the player who stays back and doesn't get sucked into the contest behind the play from your team at the centre bounces.
Solomon, Hayden, Walker. And now a wobbly kick off the side a little, set up for Petrie to go the big punch. It was almost worth a kick. Carr, the Josh variety, caught. Good tackle, taken out of play by Wyman.
There's a real intent about the Kangaroos at the moment, isn't there? I mean, especially in their back line. Saw Drew Petrie then, got the fist and then followed up, was able to put a tackle on as well.
It saved his career being moved as centre-half back last year, Drew Petrie. He was nearly gone, done and dusted, but fantastic year at centre-half back for the Kangas.
Kangaroos by 8 points, 2 minutes from the half. Good clash between Archer and Solomon again. Duffield. Pavlich caught out of the contest. Lomua, good second effort. Great third effort. Spins it around the body and goals.
That is magnificent. How good a goal was that for a player of 6'5". He went for the mark. The ball was punched away. Here's Duffield. He's had an impact too in the second quarter. It could be a free kick. I've heard the whistle go. Yes, into the centre bounce. There's something on behind play, but look at this goal. Great agility at ground level for a player of 6'4" in the old. Yes, there's been a free kick behind play, so it'll go to the Kangaroos from the centre bounce.
Yeah, it was against Jeff Farmer, a little bit of remonstrating back here at centre-half forward for the Dockers.
So that free out of the centre allows Shannon Grant to go long. He's gone to Jones, who takes the mark. Gee, where did he take it? Is it outside or is it inside the 50? It's just inside. So he slips the pass to Nathan Thompson.
Both good kicks. Shannon Grant's kick was beautiful. He didn't even have to change stride. And then the kick by Jones to Thompson, who does work hard. And when he leads with real authority. He demands the ball. And he's usually a good finisher. And another one now just before half-time. Be very handy for the Kangas.
I think you'd be happy that Anthony Grover's playing on him at the moment, or on that occasion it might have been a mismatch for a couple of seconds and it worked in their favour.
He's already got a couple. And that looks to be slightly across the face, if not marked on the line by Sandilands. So it failed to score.
Great foot skills for a bloke at that height, wasn't he? Drilled at 20 metres then.
James Walker to Hayden. Walker again. Matthew Carr a couple to beat. Can't beat Hansen, who didn't hold it long enough according to the umpire.
And Matt Carr was a bit unlucky not to get a free kick there. There seemed to be some holding before he went for that ball. Wasn't happy either.
Inside a minute to half-time. Sandilands wrapped up. Swallow stole it. Hansen. Now Harvey. G. Thompson's free. He's got the sit. Good spoil. Ball knocked down. He had that for all money. Dodd caught. Josh Carr. So Crowley over the top. Maybe a chance for one last Fremantle score. They could take back the lead at the half. Crowley held up. Josh Carr ran on. Pavlich calls it long. He's not going to get a fly at it, Pav. Lomua off hands again to Pavlich, tucked into the pocket. Ball bounced unkindly for him. And that'll do it. A little bit of anger on the siren. Daniel Pratt wrestling with Jeff Farmer. Not all that much in it. In fact, enough in it to convince everybody again that these two teams want to win this competition. The winner gets a home semi-final against Carlton next Saturday night. It'll be at Subiaco if Fremantle win. Otherwise, it'll be on the Gold Coast if the Kangaroos get up. Half-time here at the Dome, and it's the Kangaroos 50, Fremantle 48. Bullo to Simpson to Grant. Now he can go the super goal here. He runs to the paint, kicks from just outside, loads up, it's perfect. Kangaroos back in front, first super goal of the afternoon.
Not too many benefits.
Half time at the Telstra Dome in this NAB Cup quarter-final. The winner into the semi-final, and they'll get a home final next Saturday night. And the Kangaroos lead 50-48. And it's been a good contest to watch. Both these teams almost at full strength. And Tony Shaw, they've been indicating to us the way they've played in the first half that they both want to win this competition.
Well, physically they have. They've come to play, there's no doubt. I thought the Kangaroos had just the edge on Fremantle in the way they tacked the ball in that first half. But early in the game, it was the two key forwards in Nathan Thompson and also Pavlich. Nathan Thompson, he is so important to the mix. And we can see Pratt reels inside here. I just love the way that he can read the play. He's a strong body, but he likes to get on the lead. He must have a very good step off the start, and we know that he converts fairly well. But important. Pavlich was good up the other end, but I think, if they can get another with those, they've found some coming players too now, the Kangaroos, and that helps when you've got a body like that. That's the body strength also.
He was shut down a little in the second quarter, though, Nathan Thompson, and that was a difference as well, wasn't it?
Well, it was, and also I think they fell down at centre-half forward, so it wasn't getting through that line. But as I said, very important. And we can just see, we're talking about crumbing players. They're the types of players that the Kangaroos needed over the last two seasons.
And it's been a game full of highlights, really, because the fine conditions are lending itself to a good free-flowing contest, and there's been a lot of excitement for the crowd that are here.
Well, Liam Pickering said about the clearances, that's so important. The clearances getting forward. We know that Fremantle, they love to feed the ball around, and Duffield's had the better of that on a number of occasions, and he's finished off with 2 goals in the first half. But look at that. When you belt the ball like that 35, that is like a short kick. Peter Bell was fantastic in that second quarter, and as I said, Matthew Pavlich, this was the first quarter of course, but Matthew Pavlich was just too strong for Ferrito, but they let it go. They just let it go knowing it's a NAB Cup, and they might have changed it earlier if it was for 4 points.
And Sandilands is going to be a force to reckon with all year, isn't he? Because with the conditions we play football in now, in closed roof stadiums or in fine areas like in Perth and in South Australia as well, you very rarely get the kind of conditions players saw last night in Darwin.
No, exactly. And Leroy Brown, Lee Brown had a great first half playing against his old club, worked hard at centre forward, but there it is. Wonder whether the captaincy being taken off Peter Bell, I would have kicked that goal. I wouldn't have handballed that to him, but maybe the captaincy being taken away from Peter Bell allows him just to think about his own game.
And there has been a lot of unselfish play as well. You can tell as Thomas kicks that one that teams are trying to bring each other into the game, which we saw with Peter Bell giving one off, and here's Wyman kicking his first goal as well. They're
the crumbing type players that I talked about, and I think that was Daniel Pratt who set the other goal up. But, the Fremantle, I think in modern day football, if you run, you're going to be rewarded. How good a kick was that? Yeah. Under pressure from Jeff Farmer. If he had handballed, that means Duffield had to play on. But by knowing there was space there, he kicks the ball, he can then set up and have a set shot at goal. Been a very interesting game. I've really enjoyed the game because everybody talks about the NAB Cup. They are fair dinkum and they've been very physical. Hayes will be great snapping. But again, another good contest by Jeff Farmer.
I know you've talked a little bit in the past about wanting to bring the super goal into the competition. Well, Shannon Grant, he sized it up. He knew where the arc was.
Well, that's a talent. And I know traditionalists don't like it, but you just call it another goal. But gee, when there's tight finishes and you need a 9-pointer to get your head, I don't know. They might look at it in another couple of years.
That's one rule you want to bring in. Do you want to bring in the rule where it's play on off the goalpost?
No. But isn't it exciting in the NAB Cup? Because I think some defenders, like you could be in the right position, and we see Daniel Wells here kicks the ball, it bounces off, and now everybody goes, what's happened? A lot of players still stop. But Daniel Wells is a smart player, still gets involved. Great defence by the Fremantle defence here to bring the ball out after it. I don't think that should be brought into the real 4-point games.
There was a fair bit of confusion there with that one. Don't forget, on Fox Sports, plenty coming your way. There's sport, wall-to-wall sport, and of course tonight the NBL Grand Final Series continues. The Tigers and the Bullets, they've played game 1. Brisbane won game 1 in a tight one, and you'll see that one live and exclusive on Fox Sports 1. You'll see the second half of this contest here at the Dome, live and exclusive on Fox Sports 1 after the break. Half-time here at the Telstra Dome, and it's a tight one in this NAB Cup quarter-final. The Kangaroos, virtually their full-strength lineup, playing this afternoon. Shorey, David Hale not in their lineup, and another player who pulled out late, Brady Rawlings, and he joins us on the boundary line. Welcome, Brady. How are you?
Yeah, good, fellas.
And that is the question. How are you? Why didn't you play this afternoon?
Yeah, just pulled up a little bit tight during the week at training, and nothing too bad, but just precaution in the hamstring area. So hopefully be right and be out there next week.
Now, Brady, I mentioned that the pre-season started 2 weeks after the grand final, and you have changed to an aerobic-based pre-season. It's been a bit different maybe the last 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, it has been. Last couple of years we've been focused on the short, sharp sort of stuff, and this year we've really focused on endurance. So I think you probably see it in our style of play. It's a lot more running, a lot more excitement, and the boys have been carrying it out pretty well today.
What about Daniel Wells? A lot of people were disappointed with his season last year, but I thought defensively, inside the club, they thought that he did a very good job defensively. You still need the other side to his game as being one of the most offensive players in the competition. He's probably not far away from that as a midfielder.
Yeah, I think a lot of people expect so much of Daniel, how much talent he's got, but they probably don't value his defensive side as much as we do. We see some of the chases and tackles he does every week, and that's valued very highly at the club. So he's always going to give us that special talent around the ground. But yeah, we really enjoy the fact that he can do the defensive side of things. And as you've probably seen today, it's Wyman and Thomas and these sort of blokes can do that side of their game as well.
And Brady, what about the players' aspect in this whole competition? The players, they just want to win, don't they? They don't really care whether it's pre-season competition or main season competition when they run out?
Yeah, definitely. I can speak for us anyway. We're trying to win every game we can in this. So, yeah, the boys are putting everything they can into it. And I think probably watching the games yesterday, the other sides, you can tell the excitement from Carlton when they won as well. So yeah, it means a lot to us.
Now, Brady, looking at today, Glenn Archer, he said it's his last year of football. Do you think he should change his mind because he was brilliant in that first quarter?
Oh, he's been sensational today. It's like he hasn't missed a session, but yeah, I think he could play for a couple more years. A big fella, he just slots straight into it today, and yeah, hopefully he just gets through the game.
Brady, thanks for your time. Looking forward to seeing you maybe next week in the NAB Cup semi-final, but the membership is an important thing for you guys. You haven't got a massive crowd in today, but you hope as many people as possible join up. 1300 36 3231 is the number.
Yep, that's it, fellas. Hopefully everyone can sign up, and hopefully we play this way for the rest of the year.
Thanks for your time, Brady, and hopefully for Kangaroo fans, it will be a good performance in this second half to encourage them to get on the phone. The second half, the bounce of the ball, straight after this. Half-time at the Telstra Dome in this NAB Cup quarter-final between the Kangaroos and Fremantle. The home semi-final up for grabs next Saturday night against Carlton for the winner. Chris Connolly must be reasonably happy with the way things are transpiring so far. 50 plays 48, and it's been a very even contest from the bounce.
It certainly has, Dwayne. It's actually been a really good game. The pressure of the Kangaroos, especially early, was fantastic. Fremantle were a little bit more efficient in that second quarter, Shorey. I just felt that they didn't get as much of the ball as the Kangaroos, but when they got it, they looked a little bit more dangerous. Ferrito's done a pretty good job, and Pavlich, who looks to be the star forward on the ground. And at the other end, Nathan Thompson's been very good for the Kangas.
So the second half underway. And once again, Sandilands in the ruck, a little too tall. Matthew Carr, bouncing ball, it eluded Farmer. He was the one on the move, but it was a poor bounce for him. Sansbury, Simpson. Peter Bell waits. Sinclair coming hard, not hard enough. Peter Bell put the body on the line.
Not a lot of options here.
Absolutely nothing free. Forced to put it up high. Hope for Pavlich. He couldn't even get a leap at it. Hamish Simpson to Harvey. And they haven't got free options either to go to. They need to go to a one-on-one. Getting there and taking the mark is Brown. Lee Brown spears it towards Nathan Thompson. Gets there all the way from full forward to the wing. The forward line's open. Grant. Good target, off hands, Hansen, caught, dispossessed, and dumped. So Lachlan Hansen to have a shot at goal. Toughish angle, but you expect him to be able to get the distance. Rowan Smith.
Yeah, just before the end of the second quarter there, Corey Jones was limping around on the ground. He started the game this second half on the bench. He's got his knee strapped. He's just on the bike at the moment. Just be interesting to see if he comes back on in the second half.
Well, Rowan, I noticed that also, and he didn't run out with the players. All the interchange players were out in the middle of the ground, but he wasn't out there.
Yeah, as I said, he has his knee strapped, so he might have maybe done some ligament damage or something.
So Lachlan Hansen puts through the goal and extends the Kangaroos' lead.
That was a good finish for the young fella. He played a lot of his junior career or junior football across half-back. I think naturally long-term he'll be a centre half-back, but he certainly looks comfortable. He knows where to run in the forward line. He's been pretty busy. And that was a really nice finish for a young player.
Well, he gets it at ground level too, because that was a good pickup. That was a free kick for being slung after you get rid of the ball, which is a new interpretation brought in the AFL. There's Corey Jones, who wasn't out in the ground even with the warm-up players at the start of this quarter.
So Corey Jones off, and Lachlan Hansen off and running with the goal. Simpson, long kick. Lee Brown, off hands, Grant, couldn't quite. No free to Thomas, Hayden, Johnson, Matthew Carr, Johnson. Hazelby, well worked. Johnson through traffic, backed himself. Headland can launch a long ball, spears it to Farmer. Just outside the arc. Lead comes, made it tough for Matthew Pavlich, made it too tough. Out of play.
Gee, they moved the ball well by hand. Johnson off the half-back line. We know he's a creative player. And he was, Matthew Pavlich, a long way off Michael Ferrito on that occasion.
Front spot this time. And the knockdown to Archer was good from Hamish McIntosh. Lachlan Hansen couldn't trap it, swallowed us. To half forward, Grant. Good one-on-one. Now, it won't be a super goal even if he kicks it from outside the arc, because he marked inside, goes with a spearing pass.
Did well.
Hit the shoulder on Lachlan Hansen. Was it too high? It was. The umpire was going to allow play on advantage, but there was no advantage in it.
No doubt about the free kick. And again, I say at ground level, he gets his head right down over the ball, but, oh, gee, they're trying to stop that, the AFL. Protect the head at all times. There's a 180-degree protective zone now that's coming in front of the player. Just wanted that to be looked at later, Leo.
Oh, that'll be looked at under the new rules. There's no doubt about that. Look, you don't like to see it. I mean, it's a natural thing where you just bump a player that you're used to doing it, but you can't do that anymore. And the new rules say that a player, as soon as he puts his head or he starts to put his head towards the ball, you have to tackle him, or you're going to have to hit him from behind.
I think young Stokes was reported last night in the game up in Darwin for that exact thing, but no one reported on that occasion. Let's hope the umpire thought maybe a little bit accidental.
Well, look at it on the video. They've invested a lot in Lachlan Hansen. Picked 3 in last year's draft. He's already got 1. He's got 2 inside 2 minutes.
Well, I think one thing he does show, he gets to the front position and he's got a good work ethic now. Oh, gee, it's just like going to make contact on a normal time but hit him in the wrong spot. If it hit his shoulder, the play goes on, but you have to protect that player. His head's over the ball.
Well, unfortunately, the new rules will say that he will be reported.
After the game, yes.
Yeah, he'll be video reviewed on that one, I would imagine.
So a double whammy for the Dockers. Another goal to the Kangaroos, and maybe Michael Johnson will face the music during the week. He was a grand performer for them last year, second in the best and fairest after playing all 25 games. On the ball up, no one can break free. We'll get a secondary ball up.
Who I've been impressed with, Tony, has been the work of young McIntosh. His last couple of centre square work, or bits of centre square work, if you like, have been very good with his hands.
He's got that they call a voodoo number, the number 1 at the Kangaroos. It hasn't been worn in senior footy all that frequently in the last couple of decades. Headland was caught.
Got to get it out.
Swallow had him. Umpire allowed play to go on. Gilmore got it from Bell. Harvey. Simpson to Harvey again. Grant. He wants to go long to Thompson. He can go for the super goal. Loads up. Thompson flies. Can't bring the mark down. McFarlane might need to rush it through. Free kick. It'll go to Johnson.
not sure that was a percentage kick from Shannon Grant. We know he's a beautiful kick, but that was always going to be outside of his distance.
How good is he, though? He's playing on Monday. He's giving away a lot of height, but he can still outbody him.
Yeah, he's a very good player.
Headland got it from Grover and goes toward the boundary line. On that boundary line, Rowan Smith.
Yeah, Dwayne, the sun is just playing a big factor here in the third quarter. It's just started to go into the shade, but as I speak, Matthew Pavlich shielding his face from the sun.
Back into play and just ripped it out of the air then, Sandlands. Tough ball inside 50, Petrie. Could have taken possession. Sainsbury. Good tackle. Pushing the back, bad tackle.
Shannon Grant, Liam, I would think you talk about players who could play different eras, and they say not many players that 10, 15 years ago could play today. He's done that in both eras, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's just a smart footballer.
And he's not a naturally quick player either, so he's just very, very smart.
Here he is here, going for this marking contest now against Mundy.
He's about to pounce. He's got the handball options. Doesn't get the free for a push. Almost a throw. Hayden, caught by Lee Brown. Player advantage. Lindsay Thomas kicks the goal.
Well, don't you just love it? You mention a player, and Shannon Grant, the first time the ball goes to him, what he's got here, Mundy, hasn't got a great body strength, Mundy, but Shannon Grant turned him around. He knows how to keep his line. He's strong in his hips, and the ball just keeps moving on. And Thomas, a great snap.
Who else put the tackle on again? The man we've talked about all day.
Lee Brown.
Lee Brown has just been wonderful with his defensive pressure.
He kicked a goal in every quarter against Collingwood last week, Lindsay Thomas. 4 goals for the game. And he's now got 2 for the afternoon so far. The Kangaroos hot at the moment. Simpson. Harvey. Well played, Walker. Made the contest. Sainsbury's tackle locks it up.
Oh, no, look, it's early in the year, but Fremantle, they know last year they made a preliminary final. They've got to stand up now, 20 points. They want a game like this to blow out because they've got a fair number of senior players in this game today. So the Kangaroos are meeting them on all accounts here.
This is the biggest lead of the game. 20 points for the Kangaroos.
Got to get it out, Arch. You've got to get it out, Glenn Archer, because that holding the ball rule. Brent Harvey coming from the ground.
Rowan Smith.
Just with Hamish McIntosh in the ruck, he's been outstanding for the last 5 minutes. Their centre bounce work is really working for them. His tap work's been terrific.
Matt Campbell chips the kick towards Nathan Thompson. He touched it, but it was out of bounds on the full, according to the boundary umpire.
There's a touch of Friday night about this game. Brisbane came out after half-time and really loaded the pressure up on the running Bulldogs, and they couldn't go with them. And I think Kangaroos have started this third quarter exactly the way Brisbane did on Friday night.
Luke McFarlane. Sandlands has got 3 to beat here. Big fly, not the mark. As you said, good crumb. Gibson couldn't bring the mark down, so make sure no one takes it away and we'll get a ball up.
It was Andrew Brown, got to the front and centre then. Well, you'd expect the Kangaroos to run the game out when you start 2 weeks after the grand final. They've had a long pre-season already.
Sandlands and Hamish McIntosh lock arms. Sinclair. Duffield thought he was going to collect it. Gibson dives in. Trapped with him. Bell. Brown. Hazelby. Almost a throw. McIntosh. Josh Carr. And now find some space. It wasn't there. All of a sudden it opened up. Through the hands of Sandlands. Great crumbing. Handball not so good. Gets it again. Bell. Evades an attempted tackle. Chip kick. Hazelby. Walker. Pavlich. Got it.
Go to your strength when you're under pressure. And not happy with the attention there, Matthew Pavlich.
We talked about how exciting he was in the first quarter, Matthew Pavlich, but
Solomon just making an impact there with Parvozzo.
Matthew Pavlich has been, he's done a pretty fair job, Michael Ferretto. He's only had the 5 possessions. He's just looked dangerous.
Could have kicked 3. He's had a couple of shots that have not made the distance, and a couple of behinds as well. Important kick. 17 and a half minutes plus time on the quarters in the NAB Cup, and time is running out for them to edge into this lead. Another behind. I was talking before about his kicking as well, Matthew Pavlich. The best goal kickers are up in the 70% range, and he's down with Matthew Richardson and co around the 61%. Florida. Wyman. Carr. McIntosh. Back to Wyman. Riggio. Gibson. Now Wells. Shrug Solomon. Tough to do. Whoa. McIntosh. Archer. Everybody getting a little possession. Ferrito might let it run out. Bell corrals him. And now Moran. Can he get there? Yes. Takes the mark.
Got some good tall timber, haven't they? The Kangaroos are showing out today.
Didn't know anything about football 6 years ago when he was living in England. All of a sudden he was drafted and he's away. And he looks like a player, Moran. Grant. Kick around the body is okay. Lee Brown, McFarlane. That's a rush behind. It's a goal! Off the post. Matt Campbell scored the goal.
Well, that three-point rule that we were talking about. McFarlane thought he did the right thing, give 3 points and not a goal, but the thing, he didn't do it well enough, hits the post, comes back into play, that's play on, and Matt Campbell finished it off. But, gee, it is an exciting rule that, again, I just wouldn't like to see that in a 4-point game, Liam.
No, I certainly
They're going to put this game away too, the Kangaroos.
That's a commentator killer, Dwayne.
Matt Campbell, 2 goals from Alice Springs through North Adelaide. He might be the second AFL superstar called Matthew Campbell to come from North Adelaide in the space of a couple of decades. Gibson. Handball up to Sainsbury. Pressure, Ferrito back to Sainsbury. And now Riggio. It's held up. No one to go to. Petrie. McIntosh. Lee Brown. Umpire might sort this out. Longmuir ties it up. Well, whistle eventually.
Fremantle made a change. David Mundy, he was getting killed by Shannon Grant. Stephen Dodd's got that job now.
Big Sandlands has pushed forward too, Shorey.
Longmuir in the ruck against McIntosh. Free kick to Wells.
Just the inclusion of their leg speed in their midfield now. Lindsay Thomas, I know he's playing forward, but they're pushing up the ground. That's what's worrying Fremantle.
Thompson, can he get a run at it? No. Well played. Simpson. Centering ball. Lee Brown. Gee, Moran could have come over the top there, but he called Lee Brown in and kept his man out.
It was a wonderful kick by Adam Simpson. Now, most players that lack a little bit of experience would have probably under that sort of pressure just had a ping, and he knew well enough to just kick it to the top of the goal square and give some forward at half a chance by kicking it high enough. And on that occasion, it was the man who's had a pretty good game, Lee Brown.
Shouldn't miss from there, doesn't miss from there. And that'll make it tough for the Dockers.
It will make it tough, and I talked about that leg speed. We just saw the replay where Daniel Wells was taken out of the game by Matthew Carr, because when you lack leg speed against, everybody lacks leg speed against Daniel Wells, but when you're taken out like that, that is the problem with Fremantle at the moment. They're slow in the middle of the ground. And this is Daniel Wells. Kicks it long after that free kick. And great play by Simpson, the centre of the ball. He's not a great goal kicker himself, but he did it well on that occasion.
Nice mark by Lee Brown. That'd be a different combination. The Kangaroos of Lee Brown, with 150 games under his belt now, can stand up and have a good year. Moran in the ruck. Pavlich in the middle. The Dockers are in trouble. They sent Pavlich in.
Tell they what.
Moran. Pavlich tried to break it free. Matthew Carr to Bell. Kangaroos with numbers back. Simpson.
They're terrific across half-back, the Kangas.
Archer. Watt. Oh. A look-away handball. Didn't quite work.
Not every player can do the look-away handball with success.
Confused himself. Simpson. Straight through Matt Campbell. Watt. Another handball that missed the target. Oh, Thompson. He wanted Walker. Brown. Pavlich has got 3 to beat here.
That's a free kick against. Now, this is an issue with Matty Pavlich. I was talking to Liam before that you keep going to Matthew Pavlich, you've got to have faith in other players, and I reckon I'd bring him up the ground now and put other players in the forward 50 to give them an opportunity to get involved in the game. You keep going through him, the Kangaroos just play 3-1.
Well, they've been doing that. They've been pushing numbers behind the ball as well, the Kangas.
Hanson got it from Archer. Sends it long, dot over the top. Danger here. Shannon Grant, if it sits, he can pounce. It didn't sit. Harvey was about to pounce as well. Back to Grant. Stolen by Matthew Carr. McFarlane. Josh Carr. Drum. Josh Carr. Pavlich. Petrie's with him. Well played by Matthew Pavlich. Super goal territory. He's outside the arc. Gets smothered. Petrie did well. Pavlich's second effort. Carr to Peak. Duffield. They need one desperately. Had a look at them. Goes long. Through for a behind. Rowan Smith on the boundary.
You can just see how hungry the Kangaroos players are. They've spoken during the week about gaining respect back, and they're doing that today. They're just going really, really hard at it.
They haven't been great on the kick-ins, the Kangas today. The Roos. This is where they've sort of kicked, again, a risky sort of kick.
Early they were, because I think just with the mentality you've got a fair lead now, you don't have to take as many risks.
Archer, who got it from track, goes to Wells. Walker, good fist. Tackle good on Campbell. Duffield caught. Tackle good on him by Brown. Campbell to Sainsbury. Shannon Grant lurking. Can't get there to mark. That is a brilliant mark by Hayden.
So the Aboriginal boys for the Kangas, they're having an impact on this game. Just their quick hands and, again, their leg speed we mentioned just before.
Peak.
It's been quiet today.
Centering ball, just hoping for the marking target. Pavlich to fly. Good fist. Knocked down by Gibson. Campbell. It's around Brown. Wide.
Class.
Lee Brown. It's having a golden afternoon, Lee Brown. Dodd. Outmarks Lachlan Hanson. Experience telling there.
Oh.
Not so good. Jess Sinclair and Mundy. Good commitment by both. Mundy with a handball over the top. They're in trouble, the Dockers, and they know it. The scoreboard not looking good for them. Drum to Josh Carr. Johnson. Takes on Archer. And he pokes it to Crowley.
Tell you what, you wouldn't want to be another key forward in the Fremantle forward line. They don't even look at you. They just look for Matthew Pavlich. Longmuir was long, on for the long kick. They didn't even look long. They were just waiting for Pavlich to lead from the pocket where Crowley's got this ball.
He's come out with a good season, Ryan Crowley. International rules last year. Almost a centering ball, and it's crossed the face. Behind. Oh, how do you like that? The camera's caught it too. Justin Longmuir trying to talk his way out of it now.
Now that's good by the umpire, not to report something like that.
Short pass to Archer.
There we go. Oh. What do you think? Oh, you can't report that.
Barry Hall would say that that's okay.
Yeah. He played in the grand final. Thankfully, there was a bit of common sense.
Harris toward half forward. Grant, the tackle on Walker
In the back.
And Walker gets the free. He's a good player, James Walker. He's played 141 games now, and he's never received a Brownlow vote. James Walker, can you believe that?
Never got a Brownlow vote.
He has the record holder for the most games in the AFL competition without a Brownlow.
I didn't get many for a different handball.
Unobtrusive, but a good player. Archer sends it long. Johnson getting back, takes the mark, and Walker should get on the end of this one as well. He goes to the opposite side to McFarlane. Mundy.
Just not a lot happening here for Fremantle.
Trying to work it through the lines, but then they look up and there's blue and white in front of them.
Hayden, is that 20? No. Matthew Carr called to play on. Threw it away.
Now they've got Jess Sinclair on the wing here. If they get the ball back to Wells, there he goes.
Sinclair gets it from Wells. Lee Brown.
Free kick.
And this is a super goal if he kicks it.
Sure, he'll have the legs to go the trip here.
Gee, the umpire's put him inside the line.
Hasn't he worked hard?
Tony, I'd say it's one of the best games I've seen Lee Brown ever play. It's a big call. I know he's played 150 games.
I'm worried about his stamina, but he looks like he's worked so hard. And look, they're very fit, as we know. They've changed their physical build-up this year, the Kangas.
I was going to say it'll only be a 6-pointer. It won't even score. Out of bounds on the full.
Tired kick, wasn't it?
What was that about? The best game you've ever seen him play?
Well, it's one of the best kicks, except for that kick. But he has actually, his work rate on the forward line when he's pushed back. I mean, the whole day, I think he's turned up today and he looks to be in really good physical condition and he's played accordingly.
Well, with the way that they chip the ball out of the back line now, you need someone who's going to double up all the time at centre forward as a big target, you know, because they'll chip and try and work the ball through, but at times you need someone on the end of it, and he's done it so well today. It just might be his position.
Murphy wide. Dodd.
And what it does too, if you work hard from there, it creates space for Nathan Thompson behind him.
Hayden.
This suits the Kangaroos, this style of play from Fremantle.
They'll just continue to push numbers back here, the Roos.
Made it tough for Brown. Off hands, Matthew Carr. Farmer hasn't had a lot of it. Won't have any of it here either. And off hands out of play.
The other person I'm very impressed with last year was Josh Gibson, and he's done a good job on Farmer today.
It's Josh Gibson, who the fro was obviously so last year. Had the hair shaven down. Josh Gibson. Brown. Kangaroos with numbers back. Sinclair. Peak forced to spoil.
Well,
Petrie.
Look at this.
Yeah,
Sainsbury the runner with Harvey.
Simpson inside.
He goes to Simpson. Tough one. Almost the mark. Back to Harvey, who ran on. Short, hoping for Thompson. Got there, laid the hip and shoulder. Tackle laid. Umpire says play on. Matt Campbell won't be allowed to run in. Free kick.
Just before the tackle, though, Matt Campbell, his leg speed, he got 3 metres in one step, nearly was that quick.
It's amazing how a couple of players can make your team
Pressure in the forward
well,
line.
just all of a sudden it makes their team look a lot faster, yeah.
Umpire Stephen Grunt got a possession there. Short pass, Pavlich in super goal territory.
Nearly did a Peter Carey.
He loads up. He knows the 9-pointer could get them some momentum back to the goal square. Mark almost, but not quite. Sainsbury. Gibson. And here they come again. Simpson. Ferrito short. Dangerous. Cut off by Brown. Andrew Brown now a chance to pump it back inside 50. To Johnson. Short pass is good. And just inside 50, Murphy takes the mark.
Blood rule here.
Is that Pratt, I think?
Yep.
He got more strapping on his arm than a mummy.
It's been around Daniel Pratt. He's from Queensland. He was drafted by the Roos, pick 42 back in 2000, then delisted. Grabbed by Brisbane, played 3 games up there, and then delisted by them and drafted back by the Roos at pick 74 in 2004. So,
And very respected within the playing group, Dwayne.
well, they liked him so much they drafted him twice.
Made a mistake the first time, isn't it?
Ryan Murphy in the shadows of 3/4 time. Good kick off the boot. They're not done with yet.
It's been a big day, Ryan Murphy. Just the 7 possessions. He's kicked a couple of goals now. Important player because he really came on. He developed as a player last year. It was actually on this piece of play. It was actually good play by Michael Johnson. I mean, he was running into the 50-metre territory. It would have been easy to blaze away. Instead, he spotted up his key forward. If you actually use the key forwards, they'll continue to present.
I don't think any other key forward other than Matty Pavlich gets the ball a lot in their forward line anyway, so you've got to make the most of your opportunities. Nearly a mark to the umpire here.
By Stephen Grunt.
Dropped it. He's got to have a go at that at training, I would think.
Gotta
Practice
hold
that.
those.
Bit soft.
80 plays 57. Super goal can bring you back into the contest at any time. Harris. A minute to go until the 3rd quarter is over. And both teams can have a break and reset. Gibson. Lee Brown will fly from 4 deep. And he crunched into Walker. Free kick.
There it is. No doubting the courage of the modern player, though. They are unbelievable. They go back. Well, you've got to, you want your teammate to do it anyway, and it happens most with it, but these modern players, there's no doubting it.
Headland got it from Duffield, gives to Hayden, runs into trouble. Headland again, Sandlands is lurking up forward. Won't be able to mark that. He might get it anyway. Tries to tap it on. Jeff Farmer, pocket, snaps it. It'll be a miracle. But he is the miracle man.
He drives you crazy, Jeff Farmer. We've heard him booed today. And what he just does the impossible at times, and he does the simplest things. He messes up, and on this occasion, you wouldn't think he could snap it as quick as going to the boundary line towards the point post. One step, and that's exactly what he can do. He can lift his team with it, but I tell you what, he can put his team under by his undisciplined acts also. It's good to watch, though.
Well, they're back to 2 kicks from the lead.
Gee whiz.
2 super goals and they're in front. And Jeffrey Farmer starts to turn it on the final term. They might still be tough to beat from the ball up. 14, 13, 12 seconds. Maybe time for Gilmore. Super goal from there and it's wide. Behind.
Gee, I'll tell you what, Dean Laidley, if they had got another goal there, it would have gone in three-quarter time, tearing his hair out because that was too easy, that clearance. All of a sudden, no one touched it from the Kangaroos and shot on goal.
Just can't turn it over from here. And the siren will sound. And a big final term coming up here at the Dome. Semi-final in the NAB Cup to the victor of this game. And it'll be a home semi-final next Saturday night. If the Dockers win, it'll be at Subiaco. And if the Kangaroos are to get up, and will take their wagon up to Carrara and play their semi-final on the Gold Coast. The winner, of course, will meet Carlton. Big final term coming up. Perfect afternoon for football at the Dome. And it's the Kangaroos who lead 80-64.
I was 18. I was young and dumb, but I was living life in a hit sum. Hard to get out, hard to make it move.
Three-quarter time in this NAB Cup quarter-final between the Kangaroos and the Dockers, and the Kangaroos lead 80-64, but the Dockers just 2 super goals away. And a semi-final up for grabs to the winner of this. It'll be a home semi-final against Carlton next week. The other semi-final, of course, between Geelong and Brisbane, which will be here at the Dome next Friday night.
Well, you look at the stats here, Liam. They're very tight. Everything's tight except for the disposals, which I would say that Fremantle have been quite inefficient in the way they've used the ball. The Kangaroos, I thought they had, in general play, dominated that quarter. But again, a couple of late goals for Fremantle get them back into the game.
Well, the 2 late goals are so important because all of a sudden now, as you say, a super goal, they get some momentum and they're back in the game. Look, I've been really impressed with the Kangaroos' work across half-back today. The likes of Eddie Sainsbury been good. Gibson's been very good as well. I reckon they might have found a young player in Hanson, the Kangas. He kicked 2 goals in that quarter.
Yes.
Looked busy and also was a real target up in the forward line. Fremantle, though, look, they played in the top 4 side from last year, so you imagine that they're going to come back in this last quarter. But the Kangaroos, you're going to get the first goal in this last quarter, and they should probably have enough. They're nice and fit, we know that.
You talk about the physical side of it, and that's the difference, isn't it? Because they've been training it probably 6 weeks longer than Fremantle, I would think.
Down on the boundary line, Rowan Smith.
Thanks, Dwayne. Freo, Chris Connolly said that the guys were playing too wide. He wanted to get the ball in quickly, and they were just they were just too stagnant. Not running hard enough into space to create space. Wants to make the Kangaroos backs more accountable. They had 2 or 3 guys sitting off there, namely Glenn Archer. For the Kangaroos, Dean Laidley was wrapped with their pressure. It's created goals for them all the time. They know they've done a hard pre-season and they can run out the game. So looking forward to a good last quarter.
Who will win it?
Oh, look, I think the Kangaroos should. But when you've got a player, who's about 6'10" in the old, in Aaron Sandilands, clearances could be the difference. You get 2 or 3 clear movements from the centre bounce, and that gives your forwards a chance. They need to change their forward setup. I just say it again, Matthew Pavlich, great player as he is, you can't beat 3 players, Liam. You've got to get someone else who's going to be a dangerous player in the forward line to at least get in your sight when you've got the ball coming forward.
Well, they looked like the best setup they had of the day was when it was an empty forward line and Matthew Pavlich won out. And the Kangaroos have been able to, since quarter time, be able to clog up the forwards for Fremantle. But look, I also think that the Kangaroos should have too much fitness in the end to win this match.
And if Sandilands goes off the ball, Dwayne, I'll be throwing straight to the square if they need a couple of goals quick.
Kangaroos by 16 points to start this final term. Hamish McIntosh in the ruck again against Sandilands, and they get the takeaway. Harris to Simpson. Walker. Over the top. Now Brown. Josh Carr dropped the mark. Caught by Swallow. That's almost a throw. Umpire allowed it. Thomas shrugged one tackle, ducked another. Inside 50 with the kick. Good mark by Dodd. Waste no time. Time's their enemy at the moment, the Dockers. Harris. Not a lot to go to. Under pressure. Swallow. Just wobbles it towards Nathan Thompson. Comes, can't mark. Good fist again by McFarlane. Wells. Brown. He's had a good afternoon. Lachlan Hansen flies, can't mark. Harvey off hands, has the snap, and he's got it.
This is where I reckon this young man Hansen will be so important to the Kangaroos' future. He wasn't even in position then, but he was able to at least get it to the front.
It was gutsy, really.
Which is what good forwards do. And Brent Harvey, well, he's been doing this for 100 years. He just gets front and square, and, well, not much he can do. Peter Bell didn't do a lot wrong there, apart from Harvey just read it better.
Now, Lachlan Hansen, you're talking about him there. That's just presenting yourself to the ball and going for everything in the air, and that's what you want young forwards to do. He might have been a defender, but he's got some talent up in the front half.
First goal of the afternoon for Brent Harvey, and he rarely gets through a game without a goal. 216 games, 246 goals.
Oh, that's a free kick against Brent Harvey. Got a bit anxious at the centre bounce. He got in there early.
So Sandilands with the takeaway. Murphy flew, couldn't mark. Matthew Carr with the don't argue. Peak. Swallows got him. He got the kick away just in time. Archer getting back, marks it. Sinclair. Time in their favour. 86 plays, 64. Ferrito the target. He's got 3 to beat. Does well.
Well done.
5th season for Michael Ferrito. Good mark. Missed 5 games last year with that cracked fibula. Sinclair. But Harvey short, ignored it. Hansen's calling for it. Nathan Thompson's on the move. Again, can't get a run at it. McFarlane did well. Used the chest to edge him out. Lee Brown. Simpson. Sinclair.
Brown's on here.
Just refusing to turn it over. Lee Brown, as you said, Liam. But he's marked on the paint. It won't be a super goal. But 6 points is just about as good right now.
Well, there's a little bit of momentum that was carried through by Fremantle going into the last quarter. 2 quick goals to the Kangaroos. And it's back to where back to where we were most of the last quarter.
This kicks 2 straight. Lee Brown starts at left. It's coming back. Well, it's not a super goal, but it's a super goal.
Well, we know what you mean there, Dwayne. It was a super goal because it's probably put this beyond the reach of Fremantle, and he's deserved that. It's his 3rd goal for this afternoon. He is just, every time the ball's come off half-back, he's been willing to run hard to space, present himself, and well done by Jess Sinclair. But this man, as I said, you need someone who works hard in that area, and he's done it today. So hopefully good signs for Lee Brown and the Kangas for the season.
Dockers in trouble. And at ground level, Rowan Smith.
Yeah, it's just interesting to see that Fremantle have opted to leave Glenn Archer free. So he's playing loose across half-back with Walker playing across half-back for the Fremantle Dockers.
Headland forced to go at the ruck contest. Hamish McIntosh, Sandilands, his immediate opponent, wins it out. Farmer tried to farm it out. Straight to the opposition. Sinclair, Harris, Archer As Rowan said, he's playing loose at the moment, gets the toe on the ball.
Uh-oh.
Bell.
Well, he's too smart for that.
Duffield. Now Solomon, wearing Paul Medhurst's old number 6 this year. As with the long bomb, Pavlich. Ferrito's with him. Big fly, Ferrito. Got a fist on it. It was legal. Didn't use hands to jump. Pratt back to Sainsbury. Thought about rushing it. Didn't want to give away 3 points. Ferrito to Harvey. Close to the boundary line and out of bounds on the full.
Just Dean Solomon had a quiet afternoon. I think he's a defender. I think he just hasn't got the aerobic ability to play across centre half forward for a long period of time. He's not tall enough either.
Solomon found Matthew Carr to brother Josh. Long kick, goal square, big pack of players. They're behind. The Kangaroos will be happy to keep doing that for another 13 minutes.
Big Sandlin's pushed down them too. When all the arms went up, I thought we could just see this going pluck out of this.
Harvey. Gibson. Sainsbury. Had a good afternoon. Gibson. Lachlan Hansen gets there and takes the mark.
He mightn't play too much football back in defence if he keeps this up.
Been a good recruit. Long kick. Thompson thumped away from him. Johnson. Peak. Got the numbers on this space side. Bell. Straight down the middle. Mundy. Bouncing ball okay for Brown. Johnson. The 1-2.
Well done.
Runs to 50. Sainsbury hunts him down. Sandlin's in the box seat to grab this one. Back of the pack. And it rolls through for a behind.
I think Andrew Brown's shown enough too, Liam. Number of occasions. Classy. The old 1-2 then.
Well, they've found some players the last 18 months, 2 years, Fremantle. A few of those young blokes that have been on the scene for a little while.
Yeah, as you said, Andrew Brown, it was pick 52 back in 2001. So 14 games in 2004 and then hasn't played a senior game for the last 2 years.
Well, Brent Harvey's a smart player, isn't he? You know what he's done now? He's pushed into the back half just to block up spots and use the ball how he wants to use the ball.
Wells got it from Harris. There's Brent Harvey. Daniel Wells. Hamish McIntosh edged out of it by Grover. Oh. Big hip and shoulder on Thompson by Grover. They're both up. Lee Brown, who's virtually been the difference. He's got players in the goal square. Yeah. He's got Matthew Campbell lurking. Got it. Snaps it. Goals it. He can play this kid.
Well, he's very exciting, Dwayne. Well done again by Brown. Also well done by McIntosh at the other end. And a great clash. I mean, that is a sensation. And that's legal. You can do that. Both players, eyes on each other. And nice and fair. That was a lovely kick under some real pressure.
I think you know when you're on, you can sell the dummy, and you're not a quick player, but you're a key position. Leroy's, he's been on from the start. We said he was emotionally involved in this game playing against his old club. He's been brilliant all day.
3 goals now for Matthew Campbell. They've got 5 players, the Kangaroos, who haven't played a senior home and away game. They haven't got a lot out. Brady Rawlings and David Hale. They've still got a young team in. A couple of their senior every game players missing, but they've been impressive this afternoon, the Roos. It's not over yet.
Oh, hold on, there's a report behind play.
And Pratt.
There's a report behind play.
Well, Pratt's bleeding from the face.
I think it's Longmuir who's been reported.
He's not happy.
Just when it came off that contest, there's no doubt going to be a free kick in the marking contest. The Farmer, it was just after here, and It's a forearm.
From Solomon.
It's Solomon.
This is the one here.
That was it. It was Solomon. Came through the pack, and just the forearm came up, and Brent Harvey just clipped him on the jaw. There's another one too.
Well, I think Pratt might have been playing for that a little.
Well, Pratt is saying that he was scratched in the eye by Jeff Farmer. That's what he's complaining to the umpire about.
You've got to think, Dean Solomon, what is going on? Are you getting beaten in the NAB Cup? You're a high prize recruit, really, come from another club. That was an issue with Essendon also at that club, that a number of their senior players were undisciplined, and he was one of those senior players.
So Pratt with the free dump by Solomon as he kicked it. It's downfield. It'll be a super goal. It'll be game over if this one's put through.
Is that a bit harsh then, Liam?
Well, the umpire is reacting to the situation.
Yes.
He sort of, not much more Dean Solomon could have done, really.
But you know, Dean Solomon should know he's got very little tolerance for error with the umpires.
I agree with that. Dwayne. Was there a lot in it? Probably not.
No.
In the context of where the game's at, when there's just been a wrestle, yeah, it was probably pretty silly.
Jaron Wyman to almost seal a semi-final spot for the Roos. He's missed across the face.
It'd be how Chris Connolly reacts to this also. Let's see, what could he do? Could he do anything? No, I think that was okay. That may be umpire mistake, but after just being reported, you think you stay away from it anyway.
Duffield. Brown.
That play on.
Not 20, which is the rule in the NAB Cup. Walker. Duffield again, caught. Gilmore. Chip kick is not too bad, although Pratt read it pretty well. Pavlich couldn't get a run at it. Gibson. Pratt, Gibson. Run down, Farmer.
Get back from the mark, Jeff.
Maybe they've got a sniff. He loads up and goes long. Longmuir's down there. Has the fly, gathers the crumb. Kicked one like this before. Rolling ball. And did Pratt rush that through?
Yeah. Free kick anyway, Dwayne. The point won't stand, I don't think.
Well, it's just the desperation of the Kangaroos at the moment.
Pratt, look at that.
Well, they just want the game a bit more at the moment. That's the way they've played pretty much all day.
So was that a dangerous kick, was it?
Well, I think so, and maybe on his back too, so no doubt about a free kicks either way.
Harvey long to Simpson. Captain dropped it. Wyman. Untidy kick, Headland. Caught by Wilson to throw. And Wells, that's super goal territory. Wyman plays on. Thompson, good fist again, McFarlane. Wyman the crumb. Bell corrals him, got him. Ducks into the tackle, did it well. Dodd. Gilmore. He's running it down the outer side. Peak. Handball smothered by Daniel Wells. They're away again. They're inspired at the moment. Harvey.
There's this man in the back half.
Archer. Had a good last half, Glenn Archer. And he goes long, hoping for Nathan Thompson. McFarlane. Bell.
Been pretty solid, McFarlane on Thompson.
They cannot kick the ball forward, Fremantle. There are 5 Kangaroo players across halfback by themselves. They're going to have to work it through handball and short passing.
Josh Carr got it from Walker, gave it to Murphy. Pavlich has got the sit this time.
There it is.
Great mark. Gibson.
Been good.
Third man in. He's got Riggio out wide. If he wants him, he wants him. Hasn't seen a lot of it this afternoon. Had a good game last week, though, to Riggio. Pratt.
Shannon Grant going to come beyond here.
Petrie. Thompson. Caught behind. McFarlane gets there, takes the mark.
Shannon Grant was just interchanged, and he was going as hard as he could just to try and get alongside of Drew Petrie to give him an option. He just couldn't quite get there quick enough.
Can't take total notice of results in NAB because there's so many other players out. But gee, Fremantle playing football like they did a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago, chip and charge.
Brown to Duffield towards Pavlich. And the boundary line, there it is. That's the picture that tells the story.
No doubt.
2 Kangaroos there with Pavlich.
It means a lot for this club at the moment. They've been under siege, the Kangaroos.
Oh, yeah.
They've had a big season, a big pre-season, as Shorey said, but also, you know, they've now got the board issue sorted out, so you know, it's important for the club to have a win today.
Time ticking away for the Dockers. Longmuir to Duffield. High kick. Fist down there. Farmer. Well played by Pratt. He wanted it.
Did he what?
Gibson. Sainsbury. Free kick with play on advantage. Moran. Dumped. Longmuir's got him. It's under him. Longmuir tried to steal it. Bell. Kangaroos getting numbers back. Just try and stifle all this. Crowley. Farmer played for the free kick. That's got to be too high. Josh Carr. So Josh Carr will line up from inside 50 to keep the Dockers in with a remote chance.
Oh, I give them credit in that stanza of play. They did throw their bodies in and they kept the ball alive in their forward line. No doubt about the free kick.
205 games with Port Adelaide. Won a couple of pre-season premierships with Port Adelaide as well, Josh Carr, as well as a day premiership to go with it. And he has kicked the goal to keep the door open slightly.
Good tough player, Josh Carr. He was very instrumental when he was at Port Adelaide. Thought the first year he was at Port Adelaide, he got at Fremantle, I should say. He got into the Fremantle way a little bit, which was, he was getting behind the ball a little bit and getting a few easy kicks. I reckon when they started to make a charge last year, Fremantle, this guy was instrumental just with his attack on the footy and his ability around the clearances and the stoppages. He's a very, very good player, a very important player.
Six minutes 35, the Kangaroos are away from a semi-final berth in the NAB Cup against Carlton. And if they win, the Kangaroos, they'll host it at their ground at Carrara on the Gold Coast. Free kick out of the middle, play on advantage. Sainsbury tried to short pass to Lee Brown. That couldn't find him, and Grover takes the mark. Gilmore heads it wide. Lomua, he had to work to get there. Crowley runs on, that's ignored. Hazelby's open. Still a chance. Super goals keep you in it. Duffield, ball thumped clear of him. Back towards Gilmore. Look away handball to Solomon. Now Peake, kick around the body. Carr, super goal on offer if he wants it. He loads up from 52. It's a long ball, but it's inaccurate. Gee, that would have made it interesting. A behind.
Quick play on.
Riggio.
I think with a name like Riggio, you're going to get a good nickname in AFL football, I would think.
Played his first game in a Roos jumper last week, Matt Riggio. Picked 28 in the 2005 draft, his second year on the list, and he's from WA, from the Pure Thunder. This is Harris.
Good hail into the mix. The Kangaroos, Moran, McIntosh, they've got some tall timber.
Moran under pressure from Gilmore. Farmer. Hazelby, Farmer. He knows it's super goal range. Loads up, long kick, and kept in play. Amazing piece of work by Farino. Goes with a soccer. Murphy was there. Amazing piece of double effort from Farino. Ball still alive. Solomon to Pavlich. Chips it back. Is it 20? Umpire says yes. Brown will line up.
Magnificent play, Michael Farito. Hopefully in the next break we'll be able to break a play. We'll get a chance to look at it again. Kept the ball in play. Didn't want to give away 3 points by rushing the ball through and nearly gave away a goal and then escaped. Magnificent.
Too far out for Peter Bell to score. Goes with the pass to Hazelby. Gets there. And he is within range.
Boys are starting to get a bit tired.
Here it is. This is sensational, isn't it? Here he is. He goes around the goalpost because he thinks, I might hit the goalpost. I don't want to give 3 points. He didn't go through with the kick, so it's a good decision.
Hazelby to keep the game alive. Big Mark Petrie on the line.
Talking about tall timber.
Well, how do they all fit in the side, surely? Might be a good position to be in.
Archer on Brown.
Gee, I'm glad he missed him.
He's frustrated, Arch.
He hit him a little bit, but it could have been worse, I thought.
Andrew Brown lines them up. It's coming back a little. Magnificent kick. They have got a little sniff inside 4 minutes to full time.
I've been very impressed with Andrew Brown. I mentioned about 10 minutes ago, he's been playing like a wing cross half forward. Have a look at Arch here. I don't know why he'd be frustrated, but, oh, gee, it's dangerous if you get into that area. And young Brown just plays on.
Some blokes just go through their last year and just go through the motions. You just can't see Glenn Archer dishing up that this year, can you? He'll be having a crack every week.
Glenn Archer won't be leaving too much in the tank in this final season, will he?
How would he go out in the grand final? How would that be? You'd be scared playing next to Glenn Archer.
There'll be some carnage, that's for sure.
And who knows, they might win $1 million if they can win the double. The Dockers have got to run on. They've owned the ball in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Got to give them hope. You've got to have goals. Bell got it from Peake, gets caught, gives it back to Peake. Time ticking away. Gilmore loads up. Pavlich is the man. 5 to beat. Crowley, Archer, Pavlich. Farmer have a shot. chips the ball toward goal, and the door opened a little bit more.
Well, it is amazing, isn't it? In the last 5 minutes, under enormous pressure by the scoreboard, I would think, they have kicked the ball longer in their forward line than they have in the whole game. Now, sometimes you understand you've got to keep possession. They've got numbers behind the ball. That was 2 against 5 or 2 against 4, and they still won the contest. No one went to Farmer here, no pressure, so just off one step. As I said, he just does the unusual things at times and the team lifting things.
Well, 2 super goals, and they're in front.
Pavlich on the bench too.
Did he touch his hamstring then when he was on the bench, indicating something?
Don't send that scare through all of WA. From the ball up, Grant. They need to get one to seal up the Roos. Thompson's down there. McFarlane wins out again. Walker. Dodd. Grover. And now Crowley. Hazelby. They've got the run. Peak. Runs, but runs into trouble. Out of trouble. Super goal on offer from 55. Couldn't get the steps right. Archer flies in. Off hands. Jeffrey. The crowd stunned.
Well, they'll be booing him more now, the Kangaroo supporters. They haven't been happy with him. I don't know why, but he's been at times electrifying today. Again, involved. Peak he's a very good young player. There's a bit of a mungle. He kicked off his knee, really. When Archer went, as he always does, hard as he could. And Farmer, like all good crummers, in the right spot at the right time. And got the bird for his trouble from the crowd.
That's where Glenn Archer can cause problems at times. His courage gets him in a position where he probably should have crumbed that ball, but he just keeps going. That's why you don't want him deep. Across halfback is where Glenn Archer should be playing.
1 super goal, the difference. Crowley. Tackled by Watt. Got it to Brown. Duffield. Not sure what that was, but the umpire said a handball. Super goal. Crowley. He runs inside 50. It'll only be worth 6. He's missed. Out of bounds on the full.
Where have they been?
Well, Farmer, we didn't see him until after half-time.
This is when you need to make the right decisions. You need to make the right decisions as a player coming over the fence.
Good care.
Gee, Ferrito made the right decision there to Grant.
By about 1 foot.
He's getting instructions from the bench. 2 minutes to go. You heard the call. Shannon Grant. Play his 200th game for the Roos this year. Of course, 58 with Sydney before the swap with Wayne Schwass. And he heads toward Thompson.
Great stuff.
Lee Brown, he's been the star of the show. And it would be a nice way to finish for him.
Well, you're right, Dwayne. Here's been the player who's played 4 quarters of this game. And what he did then, he led back to the goal square, took his opponent and doubled back to the pocket where there was a lot of space. But even that mark by Nathan Brown, you just have to go, Nathan Thompson, sorry, you just have to go at the ball, and they needed someone to stand up.
He's got 3. He uses up some precious seconds to kick it behind.
Quick come in, but Fremantle can get it in quick from the kick in.
And should we say important behind?
Well,
Given the super goal, we might get 2 extra time games in the space of 24 hours. Walker.
Now, the Kangaroos can't afford to let Fremantle get through the corridor here. Yes. They want to try and push them as wide as possible.
Lost man switches on.
It'll be 5 minutes extra time, and then a little half time, and then another 5 minutes of extra time if we need to play it.
Good
and a good spoil by Gibson.
That was fingertip stuff. That it went over the top. Matty Pavlich was going to run back on it. Good to see him back on the ground, so no problems with injury.
Kangaroos are 47 seconds from a semi-final. Dockers need a super goal to tie the scores. Captain Simpson, Crowley, great tackle, almost a throw. Is a throw.
Oh no!
It's been overturned against Sinclair.
Well, you don't get yourself in a position like that, Liam. You know, as a senior player, you've got this game nearly done and dusted. Even if he did act it out, you don't get involved in it.
Well, it just opens up the gate, doesn't it? Opens up the door for Fremantle.
Carr to Dodd to Johnson. Time ticking away for the Dockers. Hazelby through traffic. Wobbles it towards half forward. Peter Bell's down there. Can't go at the mark. Crowley, that's a throw. Umpire said play on. Swallow. Sainsbury, Pratt, got the handball out. Uh-oh, Farmer, he's lurking just outside the arc. Brown needs to pick it up and super goal. The siren ends it. It was a thriller, but perhaps the right result. The Kangaroos have been sensational this afternoon against the odds. The Dockers came in as the favourites, but the Kangaroos have prevailed. So the Kangaroos will play a home semi-final. It'll be next Saturday night at Subiaco against Carlton at the Gold Coast. And it was a thriller. Jess Sinclair, he was nearly the villain. The other semi-final, of course, will be between Geelong and Brisbane. It'll be played here at the Telstra Dome this coming Friday night. Down on the boundary line, Rowan Smith.
Thanks very much, Dwayne. Lee Brown in here. Lee, the boys look really, really hungry today.
Yeah, it was a really good team effort today. We set ourselves to run really hard and support each other, and I think it showed out here today. We played for each other, and that's the way we want to play this year.
Semi-final back up the Gold Coast. You excited about that?
Yeah, we got a good record up on the Gold Coast. Haven't lost yet, so just the one game up there, but looking forward to it. Home away from home, and a great opportunity.
Good luck next week, Lee.
Lee Brown with Rowan Smith.
Oh, he was magnificent, Lee Brown. He just held them together across centre-half forward all day, and they deserved this win. I thought they were just harder at it for the whole contest.
So it'll be the Kangaroos to play Carlton in the NAB Cup semi-final next week after a victory over the Dockers, 100-91.
This has been a Fox Sports production.